Well, good day, YouTube, and welcome to 2025. Yeah, just happened to have a night off, nothing to do, so I thought I would do a beer review. And well, I was like, why record it to the phone when I can go right live, right? And on top of that, if there's anyone that has questions, comments, concerns, that type of thing, we can also do a bit of a hangout. I have about an hour and a half-ish before I'm due back upstairs, so we'll work that way. I'm just getting the Untapped information up right now. This is a fairly low-key beer to what Untapped showed me when I checked it. It's interesting to me. It is a bottle. You don't see a lot of bottles here in Saskatchewan, but this is a bottle. And it's from a brewery that I've had stuff from before. It's from United Dutch Breweries, who did the monastery beers. So 19 people have tapped this in and given it a 3.32 out of 5 overall. I'm surprised only 19 people have tapped it in, to be honest. Well, tapped it in with a rating, 22 in total. 7 of them were this month, so I don't know if it's a fairly new beer. I don't know enough about it, but it is. Let's see. That person had it last night. That person had it a few nights ago. Okay, so, a little worried about it because, it is a Dutch beer, and my ex-wife was Dutch. She left a sour taste in my mouth. Anyway, this is X-Mark, an agave spirit flavored beer. So, tequila flavored beer. Agave spirit. They didn't want to say tequila because you said tequila and people might think of like the Desperados, which was the same type of thing, a clear bottle, also even sold the same way. Desperados was sold in 3-packs. I don't know if they've changed it since then, but it was sold in 3-packs with a cardboard that went around everything but the neck, and then the 2 edges were exposed as well. This also sold in a 3-pack with the 2 edges and the necks exposed. So expect a little bit of skunkiness with them. Expect that because they are a clear bottle. Even though there is cardboard over part of it, you still have exposure. You got the X-Mark bottle cap. It looks like it's trying to say some stuff back here. I can't read any of it. Yeah, I don't. There's Mandarin on here. There's a lot of countries stuff on here. What were we looking at? I think 5.3% alcohol by volume. Let's grab the Untapped back because I can read that better than I can read the bottle. No, 5.9% ABV. It's rated as a shandy / radler, so you can tell that somebody other than the brewery put this in because you wouldn't call this a shandy. You'd probably just say a fruit flavored beer. But okay. And no information on it at all other than see style guide. And United Dutch Breweries is apparently a shandy / radler. Good day to both Yep and Brian. So let's quickly read the style guide. Usually for both, you're looking at a lower ABV, and it's usually a 50-50 mix. But what does Untapped say it is? Shandy is beer mixed with a soft drink, such as carbonated lemonade, ginger beer, ginger ale, apple juice, or orange juice. The proportions of the 2 ingredients are adjusted to taste. Usually half and half. Non-alcoholic shandies are known as rock shandies. Shandies are more popular in Western Europe than other parts of the world. All true, also proves not a shandy. You can't go, this is an agave spirit-flavored beer. That's a shandy. It don't work that way. So let's pop that open. Let's reach for the glassware, shall we? That was a different phone. Oh, that's the old review phone going off back there. I think for 2025, we're going to kill off that phone and go to the Motorola. She's not in good condition. She's got a lot of cracking and stuff. So I think we'll go we'll go on to the Motorola for the new review camera. The head, nice and frothy white. Ooh, a little snap, crack, pop going on there. Evening to you too, Multi. Happy New Year to you, Brew. Why aren't you here? Nobody comes to visit me anymore, Brew. You don't even come to say hi anymore publicly. You're not, you're not banned or anything. I always give you the link. So I had this twice. Both times I've had it refrigerated. This time it is not refrigerated. What do we got going on here? How are you? Both times I had it, I know I haven't gotten drunk while drinking it, so I remember it quite vividly, and it was within the last few days. It's not cold. It actually smells a little bit better. The other two had a very telltale hint of skunk to them, and I mean, I'd expect that because it was a clear bottle. The two I had may have been the two on the ends, and this might have been the one in the middle. I don't know. I didn't keep track of that. But it kind of smells like it does sort of smell shandy-like in that it smells like 7-Up mixed with just a plain lager. Yeah, I think I have Sunday off, so I'll do one Saturday night. I believe I work tomorrow, then I'm off Friday, then I open Saturday, off Sunday, then I open all week after that. So yeah, the plan was to do one Friday. Not Friday, Saturday, sorry. Okay. Smell from the glass. Pretty much the same. After I'm done this, I have a few beers that I can just drink. So again, if anyone wants to join. If anyone wants to chat, get your comments and stuff ready. Because once we're done this review, we'll get to them. Cheers. Okay. This is another beer where I think I do enjoy it more cold than I do warm. I mean, it's something that you'd kind of expect, but I enjoy it more cold. On the warm side, it has an almost lime lager flavor with a bunch of dirtiness, which could go to be like a tequila flavor type of thing, kind of citrusy and earthy and dirty. So I accept that. It's 6% alcohol. Tastes a lot lighter than that. It really does. I don't mind the graphics for it. The artwork is okay. It's fairly laid back. I'm okay with it. Wish it wasn't in a clear bottle, but I get it. A lot of European breweries use clear and green and even to an extent blue. So I get it. It doesn't make me happy, but I get it. Unlike my ex-wife, it doesn't leave a sour taste in my mouth. I'll go to court for something and that'll get brought up. He said I left a sour taste in his mouth. Because her or somebody else watches these and then gives those out. They give them out. If you get a big gulp of it, it tastes more like tequila. It tastes more like you're drinking a spirit than a somewhat lower ABV beer. That sound you hear is my wife not being able to lift her feet. It's not a bad beer. It's not a bad beer. I'd buy that again. I would. I don't mind it. Yeah, well, that's the thing, right? I can't read that at all to know if they've done any mixture, what they've done. Well, they have the right ABV at least on Untapped. Yeah, no, I don't know enough to know what they've done with this beer or anything like that. I know it's not a shandy. You could be right. It could be like an agave syrup flavored concoction to make you intrigued by it. I don't mind it. I'd give it a 7 out of 10. I'd buy that. Um, I didn't get the Happy New Year badge on Untapped because I didn't tap any beers in last night. It's not a bad beer though. Not a bad beer. No, I don't think my current wife would have enjoyed this one. I don't think it's one she would have liked. Yeah. Well, I mean, who knows? You could leave me any day. Could be like, you know what? I'm tired of that albino idiot.
For a shower.
You're not denying it.
Going for a shower. Love you.
I love you too.
I turn the lights off.
You gonna turn the lights?
What?
You're gonna turn the lights off?
I turn the lights off upstairs.
Oh.
I came down. Even though it's not 7 yet, I turned the lights off because I was going to be down in the shower. So. Turn the lights off.
All right, so the beer review is done. What do we want to talk about, guys? Who wants to join? Who wants a link? There we go. There we go. I'm going to drink a Village Blacksmith next. It's an Alberta Black Ale. Much more clothes going to fly out of that door. Whew, I get a little turned on as each piece of clothing flies out that door. I didn't touch it. Oh, I put it in the medicine cabinet, middle one. Woo, the bra's off. The puppies are out. Ooh, the meniscus held. The meniscus held. What are you doing in there?
Fucking just trying to get to my shit.
I thought you were taking a shower, not shitting.
Dad,
Yes.
you can go join the other one in the dark.
Love you, honey. No, Brian, I will not do that. I like my life. She's also aware I don't have one anymore. Life or one of those. Did I put both? Oh, I did. I have both Ontario license plates up now. I was going to try and find somebody that had an extra Saskatchewan, Manitoba, or Quebec license plate and do a trade, but Ontario ones are too easy to find. Nobody wanted them. On top of that, it's really hard to get Saskatchewan license plates for your wall because you only get one plate in Saskatchewan. My beer's not done pouring yet. The head is sticking around, and these Teku glasses are apparently a little small. A little small. I thought they were like 473s because that's usually what you would get. But no, they're not. They're probably 400s at best. I still like them. I still. One second, guys. Just gotta. There we go. Alaskan Brewing Company. I think I have. Give me 1 second here. Let's look them up. Let's look them up and see. Alaskan Brewing Company in Juneau, Alaska. No, I have not had anything by them. There is a brewery in Alaska that I have had something by, and that's why I was not 100% sure. But no, the Alaskan Brewing Company, I have not. There's a bunch of Arctic breweries that I have. Iqaluit has a brewery, and I haven't been able to source beer out of there yet. I knew a lot of people that worked for the Northwest Company that were in Iqaluit, and I offered all of them the money to buy it and ship it and all that. And it was always getting told, yeah, it'll happen. I'll send it to you next week. And then I tried like 6 or 7 times and no one ever was able to get it. And now none of the people I knew work there. So I can't get it anymore until I get a new connection in Iqaluit. I know Northwest Territories has a brewery. You also have Yukon Brewing in Whitehorse. I've had 6 of their beers. I've had their Friend Shaped, which was a fruited wheat beer, their Unplugged Red IPA, their Grizzly Wheat, their Lead Dog, their Yukon Gold, and their Midnight Sun Espresso Stout. Sad thing is, they're up in Whitehorse, so you'd expect it to be a lot more expensive to make beer. But when you were able to get it in Ontario and elsewhere, it was actually the same price as buying beer that was brewed down there. Excuse me. Back there. Okay. Just getting out of the shower. I get really excited. I'm sorry. Yeah, no, fuck. Who else has them? Like I said, Northwest Territories has one. Iqaluit has one. There's a few of them up in the Arctic that exist, and the problem is you're not going to see their beer really outside of there unless they're in specific spots, and it's not always easy to get. I would love to get the Iqaluit stuff, but again, I don't have connections up there anymore. There's not really a lot.
Ask my dad the next time he goes through Iqaluit.
Your dad doesn't usually stay in Iqaluit very long, though.
He goes through it every now and then.
I'll ask him. Some of the stuff from Yukon Brewing ends up in Saskatchewan stores. I've seen Lead Dog there. I've seen Yukon Gold there. That's where I've bought Friend Shaped. So some of their beers end up there off and on. Thing about being a private bottle shop, right? Since everything is private bottle shops, they can buy from pretty much anybody, and you never know what you're going to see. And I've seen some of their stuff there. I've never seen the Iqaluit stuff. I've never seen the Northwest Territory stuff. But I have seen some stuff from Yukon Brewing Company. And I know at one point, at the very least, you were able to get Yukon Gold from Yukon Brewing in the LCBO. I don't know if you'll ever see it again, but it was there at one point in time. Such a nice beer. If I had one complaint about the Village Blacksmith, it would be that it has just a few too many hops. Like maybe an ounce or two too many. Takes away from the malt flavor a little bit. When I reviewed it, I didn't really think about that because I just really enjoyed it. And now that I've had all 3 cans of it, I'm like, it's good, but maybe there's too much of this. And it is what it is. Ooh, a Superflux, eh? Can't remember now. Is Superflux one of their beers, or is that the name of the brew? I've Superflux is the name of the brewery, right? Which beer are you about to open? Because I actually have one of their IPAs in that their cupboard. I do have to get malty a few of them when they come back because I haven't seen them at my local-ish bottle shop in a little bit. Yeah, Superflux is the brewery, but most of their beers are IPAs from what I've been told. There's been a few of them that I've seen, but I did pick one up. You okay? Do you need me to help you get that? Do you need me to help you get that?
The cast iron pan has been scrubbed and oiled.
Okay.
Dried and oiled.
So you didn't let our son rust it out again?
No, because I don't want to have to season it.
Oh, wait. Sorry, guys. I see somebody's here.
That's a all-day event.
Oh, it is. It's a very much all-day event. What are you doing here, sir?
I'm on vacation.
Actually, Boiler alumni, I think that's the one I have in the cupboard too. What's up? I'll be up when I'm done, and I'll sit my ass on the couch beside you. Oh, the 2 days that I'm not at work, we're going to 3rd Avenue for 8 a.m.
I'm sorry, what?
I have 2 days of training next week, I told you. It's better than the 7 a.m. that I was working those 2 days. Love you. That's probably what I'm doing tonight, according to this.
Did she tell you to go after yourself?
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh,
Huh, I wonder. Have you cracked it open yet? Let's see if I can find it. Oh. Oh. No, not pink IPA from them. There it is. Superflux Solax.
oh, that's cool. Kind of beer is that one?
It is a IPA. You know what I might do? I might actually record this with my other camera while we're live.
Well, go for it.
Well, I mean,
Want me to drop off while you record it?
no.
All right.
I mean, Euler alum is here. He's about to try it. So I might try it with him at the same time. I just got to finish this and then rinse this glass out. Because, if I'm going to review something, I should actually rinse the glass out. I should do it anyway, but if I'm not reviewing, I don't care as much.
As long as the Oilers alumni realizes he has to start typing in the chat some comments about the beer for you to read.
So next pay, I have to go and rent a jackhammer.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah, I found out that my one fear was actually right. And my washer just drains into a pit. It doesn't connect to my actual system anywhere. So the hole is like where I'm sitting.
Yep.
The old stack from where the bathroom originally was is basically here where you guys are, so like an arm length away. So I got to hammer into there, actually put a pipe with a trap on it and connect to the old stack, because the old stack is connected to the whole system.
Oh, Edmonton guy. I prefer this team here, but I'm down in Ontario.
And I'm sitting in Regina, Saskatchewan.
Oh, you're in the middle of us.
Yep. And I prefer a team other than the one that's on your hat. My team's up here. The Sens, who have been sucking it up lately after Olmark got hurt.
It's all good.
Well, I will leave that glass right there, and once you get him off to bed and all that, and you're ready to try it, let me know, and we will we'll open it together. I got told all day today that I had to be ready to perform, and now my wife is sick with whatever flu thing has been going around.
Yeah, that's not good. Sounds
That's
like
why
you're.
I told when she told me to fuck off. I said it sounds like that's what I'm going to be doing anyway. she gave me
Yeah,
the look of, you will die, child.
the look of confirmation. No.
Pretty much, yeah, yeah. I have a beer here that you didn't like. I loved it. It was, and I got another 4-pack of it from my Secret Santa. I got it from my Secret Santa, and well, I've been all over Canada, right? I've been Saskatchewan, Quebec, Manitoba, lots of places in Ontario, a few places like, and when I say Quebec, I'm talking Nunavik, Inukjuak, Pavernatuk, Saluit, all that type of stuff. And then there was places in Nunavut and stuff that I stopped off in, but I wasn't there for any long periods of time. Uh, I only count places I was stuck in for a month or more. So
Oh, that's how. How long were you in Winnipeg for?
we were in Winnipeg for almost 2 months. There was like 3 homicides while we were in Winnipeg, and I was told that was on the low end.
That's where the Walmart was with the underwear in the bathroom, right?
Yes, that's where the underwear in the bathroom was. Yeah. So anyway, I know you didn't like the coconut in paradise, coconut
That's
porter.
that's just it's. I don't enjoy that type.
No, but I loved this beer. Um, my Secret Santa got me this beer, and
Nice.
this with 2 others, 2 that I had to review, and then there's this one person that I'm pretty sure was my Secret Santa that kept coming up to me and going, are you going to review those beers? Or are they going to go on your channel? You should really bring up that it's from your Secret Santa when you do. But my Secret Santa spent like 3 times as much money as they were supposed to on me.
Ooh.
I know, I know. And I know exactly which bottle shop they went to because there's only one bottle shop in town that has one of the beers that they bought.
Well, that's good. Should I go with Michelob or my Bush?
I wanted to go with some Bush tonight, but it's not happening.
Yeah. Well, it sounds like it's the same kind of Bush this is. It's just it's ice. You're gonna get frozen out.
I did not enjoy my time in Winnipeg, or Winterpeg as it has become known. I mean, it's not like the crime rate is exponentially worse than where I am now because Regina has a good deal of crime. But Regina's crime is mostly property damage, where Winnipeg's crime was people damage, shall we say. And the hotel we were in for the job I had, for the training for that time we were there, it was not in the greatest place. Um, we were making jokes about one of the alleys because just like in Saskatchewan, I don't know if Edmonton has a lot of it or not, but Regina and Saskatoon both have a lot of places that are alleyway access for your garbage and everything else, and your Niagara doesn't have a lot of alley access, does it? Not many things in Ontario do.
No, but I think a lot of Alberta is.
Okay.
So I think it's more of a Western thing.
Yeah, so they do everything with alley access, and the alley for the residential houses right behind our hotel. We always made jokes about it being a murder alley because it was fucking sketch city, and I'm a big tattoo covered guy. I'm still like, yeah, nope, not going down that alley. And we would make all those jokes, and then somebody got murdered in the murder alley while we were there. We're like, oh, this is awesome.
Yeah, that's cool.
Hey, I didn't when I used to drink 100% you do? Okay. When I used to drink liquor, Jack and Coke was one of my favorites. You were always a rum guy, were you not?
Yeah.
Yeah, see, I liked
White
gin.
rum.
See, and if I'm drinking rum, when I drank rum, it had to be dark or spiced.
I've kind of gotten into a bit of the spice, I think. I don't know. I've gotten into trying to see if I have a bottle here. Ugh. Yeah. Let's see. I've gotten into a little bit of this over the last few years. Where's my camera today? Some Havana Club.
Do you get Hector to bring that back for you for $7?
No, my dad's brought it back for me from Cuba. He's like, "Oh, you got to drink it. You should drink it straight." I'm like, "No."
I remember every time Hector went, he would try to bring me back a bottle of it, and I'm like, I'm not a big fan of rum. He's like, but I can get it for $7. You'll really like it. I go, no, I still won't like it if you could get it for $1. I could drink dark rum and I could drink spiced rum. Whiskey was my thing. Gin was my thing. Vodka was not. Tequila was not.
Otherwise, my white rum.
White rum is just fucking vodka made with something other than potatoes.
Probably.
Yeah, I've had some stuff from Edmonton in my time. At one point in time, I was doing a lot of beer trades with some guys in Calgary and a few other places, but not huge amounts. But I've had some stuff from Edmonton. Calgary is where I've gotten most of my Alberta beer from, and then like random weird places that are just scattered around Alberta. Like small places type of thing. I do have some stuff from Bourne Brewing. I believe Bourne's Calgary as well, though.
We just need someone from Jasper.
You got me some beers from Jasper, didn't you?
I'm just saying we need to find someone from Jasper because that's been the best selection I've ever seen.
Oh, that alcohol shop, yeah.
Yeah. Better variety than everywhere. Touched right across the country. They had a whole section on like, oh, this is Ontario stuff. This looks normal to me.
Yeah, so if my Secret Santa ever watches this, and if it's who I think it is, she won't watch this far in because she's not allowed to. One of my favorite beers, so thank you.
Do you have others from that Secret Santa pack still?
Cabin Brewery? Let me check. Yes, because they got me a 4-pack of this. They got me a 4-pack of Pile of Bones Scotch Ale, and they got me the Nokomis beer, which is the one I know where they went because of it. But the Scotch Ale are like 8% alcohol, so I haven't really jumped into them.
Oh, and you complain about the ice beer.
Cabin Brewery in Calgary, Alberta. Let's see if I've had any of their beers. I've had one. I've had their Roller-Rama. And I tagged
When did you have that?
What's you bought it for me.
So I was wondering.
Yeah, you're the one that was tagged in it. So that would have been June of 2023 that I had that.
All right, so that's probably. I bet you I found that at Jasper.
It's possible, yeah.
Maybe. I don't remember.
Because usually if a beer is sent to me and they're on my Untapped list, I will tag them into everything that has been...
Yeah.
Not this week coming, because this pay is spoken for. But my next pay, I'm going to be ordering some beers from Burnside in Nova Scotia. So I'll put them
I just did.
Oh, did you?
Yeah, but I got them for my daughter though because it's her birthday, or not birthday,
Okay.
Christmas.
I was going to say I was going to add them. I was going to add them to the one beer that was the Burnside beer here.
Yeah. Yeah, for Christmas I like. Oh, you know what? I went on it. I'm like, oh, and they only do free shipping.
I actually quite enjoy that brewery.
Hamilton or Halifax. Sorry.
Yeah, but their shipping cost wasn't that bad if you get enough beer. I mean, like I was looking at like 85 beers from them.
Oh, jeez.
Because I was just going to order everything they had, and some of them came in 12 packs and stuff. And those 85 beers plus shipping and everything else was going to cost less than me buying the same amount of beer here.
What was the shipping cost?
I think $60.
That's pretty good.
Yeah, New Level. I've had a lot of new. I actually sent Brian some New Level stuff.
Which ones were they?
It would have been like the. I don't know which ones I sent you, but it would have been like the Pinball Wizard or the Hellion or the Beerzerker or the I think the IPA I sent you from them.
Yeah, I know. My daughter took like 3 or 4 of those when I first got that package. I'm like, hey, if you want to take some, help yourself.
And I mean, I've loved the beers I've had from New Level. There is a bunch of beer from them at the one Sobeys Liquor I hit up. But can you stop yelling into the thing? My daughter is like yelling into the furnace vent.
Sound like she was yelling the F word right now.
No,
that was funny.
She's yelling at the cat or the dog or something. I don't know. But yeah, so New Level beers, I've really liked them, but I found out that they're about $15 more expensive here for an 8-pack than they are in Calgary. So I just haven't wanted to go and buy the next pack because that price difference pisses me off. Sea Level, I believe Sea Level is Edmonton. They're really good.
Ooh.
I was when I reviewed my first New Level beers, I was like, am I paying for the artwork? Because the artwork's amazing. And they're so much more expensive than any other mix packs. So, and even the 4-packs, like the 4-packs from Alberta are in the $18 to $21 range for the most part. And then the New Level 4-packs that are there are in the like $23 to $26 range. So I'm like, is this all marketing? Is that what I'm paying for? And then I found out that it is and it isn't at the same time. It is about marketing, but it's about marketing that Sobeys thinks they can get more because of the labels, because they're paying a lot less to buy them from the brewery. Yeah, like the Sea Level Brewing Company there, I really liked their Prairie Fairy. Okay. Can you get our daughter to stop screaming into the furnace vent? Well, the problem is where she is. I know exactly where she is. She's right outside of Aiden's room, and it's right here above my head. And the vent goes into both sides, so it's like a big open cavity in the wall. because one does his room and one does the living room, and they're connected together. Because this is a 100-year-old house, so you have the big grated. I actually had a conversation with the manager of Sobeys Liquor recently about how he could sell so much more beer if he would let people buy them as singles. And he goes, "What do you mean?" I go, "I would be in here like every 3 days buying like 12 different beers." And I'm sure you'd have a lot of people doing the same thing. Like,
I wonder if that's above his level of decision making.
well, they actually have like if a can gets broken or anything, they have a sticker they put over the other 3 cans and they break them off and sell them as singles. And so they actually have it in their system to do. They just don't do it.
He should try it with a few different beers. Just as a little, just as a sample run to be like, hey, look, I proved it works.
Or when you get your entire like 6 or 7 flats of each beer, you take 1 4-pack of each of them, and you have one little section where you just sell them as singles.
Yeah,
and you see how fast they sell versus the 4-packs.
Yeah,
but let me know when you're doing it first, so I can go in and like take everything I want to review.
Yeah. Well, if I ever come to your little town there, you send me to these little beer shops. I'll have say, "Oh, you don't do singles here? What's this all about?" Never mind.
It boggles my mind. Like, it really does. It
Well, when I was in Jasper, there was 2 liquor stores there that I went into.
Yep.
And the first one was all 4-packs and 6-packs, and they had a smaller area of like the damaged cans that were singles. So if they had done singles in there, I never would have gone into the other one. And I actually asked the worker, I'm like, "You can't do singles?" "No, but there's another place in town that sometimes they do it." I'm like, "Oh, okay, I'll go there." And literally walked out of there.
And see, Euler alumni, that's the way it should be. Like, if you want to make it so that I have to buy 4 like quantities of 4, I'm perfectly okay with that. Like, if I want 6 different beers, I have to pick 2 more to make it to 8. Okay, whatever. But let me mix and match whatever the fuck I want. Yeah, you could have like Multinational right down the street from me. They actually do really well with their single cans. They actually do better with their single cans than anything else. But what they do is they have beers broken down like regular, premium, deluxe, and each one of the 3 has a different price, but everything that's in that category gets that price. So when I buy my cans could cost me anything from $3.50 to $7.50. And it's up to what I've mixed my cans at on what it is. And I don't understand why I shouldn't even say Western Canada, because Manitoba does a lot of singles and there's a lot of singles in Alberta as well. So I don't understand why Saskatchewan is like 4-packs only. But at the same time, I get that they think that they're moving more volume that way. But what you do is you chase away consumers at the same time. Because if I went in and I bought a 4-pack from you and it cost me $18 for the 4-pack, and I go home and I didn't like it, well, now I have 3 more of that. Now, if I go in a second time and buy another 4-pack and I don't like that one, do you think I'm coming back after spending almost $40 there to get another one? Probably not. However, if I go in and I buy a 4-pack from you that I mixed and matched, and I loved one of them, I really liked another, I kind of liked one, I disliked another, I'm still going back. And my next time, I might get 1 more of the one that I loved, maybe 1 more of the one I really liked, and 2 different ones to try. And I would keep going like that. And in the end, you're actually selling more beer and you're bringing in more people because they're like, hey, I want to try their beer. Let's go see what it's all about.
Or if you have to have 4 of one brewery and you didn't like it, you're never going to try their stuff again.
I hate you right now. Go fuck yourself. Just like I'm going to be doing later. No,
Yeah. Little shooter cans. When I was in Lethbridge, the one liquor store, and I asked if they had singles or something, they're like, no, but just bring the 6-pack or the 4-pack up, and we'll just crack one off, and we'll just move those into the rest into the singles area. I'm like, oh, you'll do that? Like, yeah, just get the sale.
yeah, and I mean, why not? You actually, in the long run, you can make more money selling singles.
Yep.
The one,
Especially
like, I bring my 4-pack. I bring my 4-pack can tops to multinational all the time too, because I'll bring them. I bring them there because I mean they cost the guys like 15 cents a pop, right?
Yeah.
So I'll bring them a stack of like 20, and I'll hand it to them, and then they'll give me a free pint for bringing them in.
Hey, that's
And
cool.
even if they don't give me the free pint, I'd bring it to them because what else am I going to do with them? I'm just going to throw them in the recycling. It saves them some money. Excuse me. And they make fun of me every time I do because I go in and I've mixed and matched them to like the different colors. Like I have all the orange ones, all the white ones, all the black ones, and then I have them from like the most to least or least to most, depending on when I'm going. Sometimes I've made patterns with them. They're like, "What is wrong with you?" I go, "There's a lot wrong with me. Where do you want me to start?"
Yeah.
And good people there, though. Good people.
Well, that's good.
It's just a smaller brewery, right? So you don't get a lot of offerings. They have their offerings they always have, and then you have to be quick on everything else because they can a lot of it, but so they only get so many kegs of things. So you just got to be quick.
Do they have a social media? Like
They
where
do.
they post about? Like,
Yeah.
do they post when they have their new stuff or weird stuff?
Yes, anytime they get something new, it's posted. I was really angry with them because April Fool's Day, they posted that they had an asparagus beer, and I'm like, I really want that beer. They're like, it was an April Fool's joke. I'm like, no, I don't accept that. You said you had an asparagus beer. Where's your asparagus beer? Like, we didn't make one. I go, really? Because I have made a smoked meat Brussels sprout beer, and they're like, why? Like, why not?
Because you could.
Basically. Okay, give me 2 shakes of a lamb's caboose, and I will open with you. I have my other phone around me, don't I? Yeah, it's right over there. So I'll set it up right here.
Yeah.
Oh.
So are you more of a drink it straight out of the bottle or the can, or do you like to pour it into a glass? I'm 50-50. Lately, I've been doing it out of a glass. So
Oh shit, son!
oh, wonder what happened. What did you do there? What happened there?
I dropped the camera.
Oh, okay.
I have it on one of those stupid little fake tripods.
Oh,
and
yes.
I was trying to angle it down more, and it does not go down anymore.
I found a surplus one at Ingles.
Oh, did you? I wonder where you bought that.
I don't know.
My favorite part was he didn't get why we weren't saying our places of business.
Yeah.
It's all good. I mean, again, he doesn't.
Yeah.
He doesn't do this type of stuff. So,
No.
But I leave that ambiguous for a reason.
Yeah.
Okay. Let's turn you just a little bit. And it smells really. Oh God.
What?
He says it smells really good.
Oh.
Okay, so we will keep this going. Brian's still in my ears. We are going to do this.
I'll stay quiet. I got
No,
nothing
no,
to
you
add
can
for
you
it.
can talk. That's fine.
No, I know, but still. Maybe I'll create a question.
Well, good day, YouTube, and welcome to another episode of the Albino Rhino Beer Review. Yay! We're live on the Albino Rhino Beer Review over here. We're not live over here, but we're far enough in that nobody's going to see this, so they might see it twice. But one of the guys in the chat room, Oilers alum, has this beer right here. So let's see what we think of it. Right, this is from Superflux in BC. 6.5% alcohol by volume. This is their Soul Wax. I'll wax your soul. What do we have on here?
Whack.
Soul Wax IPA is dry hopped with Idaho 7. Oh, Idaho 7 Cryo. Citra Cryo and That's why it smells so good. It's cryo hops. Okay, and Galaxy, but Galaxy is not cryo. It's just Galaxy. It has a bit of a different grain bill than we normally use, with the goal of creating more body and roundness. We taste. You didn't proofread, that's for sure. We taste notes of passion fruit, candied orange. Okay, no, never mind. They're not saying. Okay, I'm an idiot. Just leave me alone. Pepper and pineapple. 4 people have had this monthly. 3 people that I have on my Untapped have had this. They've given it a 4.23 out of 5. 473 people have rated this out of 3.95 out of 5. Lee M., Pierre Olivier from here in Regina, and Bitsy from here in Regina have all had it. They have given it a 4.2, a 4.5, and a 4. All right, let's see what we got here. Apparently, it smells really good. Now, I don't know what canning date I have versus him, being that he is in Alberta. His canning date is probably much better than mine. Because I bought this at the place that I get the worst canning date. I probably should have checked before I opened it. You're right.
Oh, both of you, though. Get him to check his.
There is one down there. Oh. Okay. Yeah, when was yours canned? Mine is June 26th of 2024.
Oh, that's last year.
It's fucking. This is the second beer review for 2025 for the Albino Rhino Beer Review. Hazy, what are you doing, Harlow? She thinks I didn't see her sneak by. Very hazy. Hazy crazy even. Oh, it looks so good. Bright white head. Oh, nice snap crackle pop. That's really nice. What does he say? So he's just a few days. He's a few days earlier. Later, I mean. So yeah, it could either be the same batch or they had 2 batches going at the same time, or that's intriguing. That's really intriguing. Yeah. So we should, dependent upon care, we should have basically the same beer. I think Judge was pissing on my porch again. What? Was it Judge?
Yeah, he's pissing on your barbecue.
Added flavor. You're right, that does smell good. Oh my.
Is it noisy? Can we hear it?
It's not as noisy now.
Okay. Never mind.
Okay, passion fruit I get. They say candied orange. I don't think I get that. Pepper, I get pepper in two ways, right? From the
Oh,
galaxy, I'm getting like a botanical green pepper scent. I'm also getting black pepper. They say pineapple. I can smell pineapple too. The only thing I'm not getting that they claimed was in there is candied orange. Cheers. Cheers. So this is my first ever Superflux. First ever
ooh.
Superflux. And it is this beer should help forget about your barbecue being pissed on. That's my youngest dog. And even though he is a dog that is bred for the mountains and everything else, he doesn't like the cold. And he goes outside and he's like, nope, I'm not going down with the other dogs. I'm pissing right here. And you yell at him and you don't even have to go near him. You could be like 10 feet away from him and be like, hey! And he cries like you beat him to death and runs away. He's a Bernese mountain dog. They are way too sensitive. I am too used to training and breeding and growing like Rottweilers and Dobermans and boxers and stuff like that. So I'm not used to this. And boxers are pretty sensitive dogs to begin with, but they also aren't scared of you saying no to them, right? Like, I'm not used to this. I'm so sensitive that I will let somebody murder my family if you pet me, type of thing.
Yeah.
And his biggest problem is the other two dogs are a Great Pyrenees and then a Saint Bernard Great Pyrenees mix, and both of them will defend this house to the death. And one of them is getting old. She turns 7 in a few months, and she's trying to train the youngest one, which is a Bernese Mountain Dog, to defend the house. So if he doesn't defend the house well enough, like somebody walks in and he doesn't bark at them, she bites him, right? She's like, "You're supposed to bark, motherfucker!" And then he cries and hides in a corner, and I'm like, "You guys, this does not work. This is not working." It's a really good beer. Now that my story's done, it's a really good beer.
Okay, what would you pair it with food-wise?
Ooh. You know, for a beer that has that peppery note that sticks on the back of your palate, but that being really the most sorry, I'm trying to do this and my wife keeps texting me. What the hell does she want?
So that was you have all your burner phones on the go.
Apparently my son's not wearing deodorant again. All they can smell is onions from his room. Anyway, back to my story here. So you get the pepperiness on the back of the palate, but that's really the end of the bitterness on this. The cryo hops really add a pop of fruity flavor up at the forefront, and you're getting that passion fruit, you're getting that pineapple. I'm still not picking up orange, but it's really nice, really fresh tasting up on the forefront, very fruity, to a point where if I'm pairing this with something, I want it to be something like salty, savory, maybe fatty, maybe like a bacon cheeseburger.
Ooh.
Yeah. And I'm not talking like a McDonald's McDouble with bacon or anything like that. No, if we're going fast food, it would have to be something like a teen burger from A&W. But if not, something like just a good sit down restaurant or a good homemade burger, so that you're getting that salty, that savory, that greasy, and then this is what's going to mix with it and just wash it off the tongue.
Nice.
That's dangerous in a good way and crushable. I could knock back a 4-pack of this any day. On a cold day like today, this brew makes it feel like summertime. I'm sorry to YouTube. I know you're YouTube as well, but I'm sorry to YouTube because I'm looking away when I read these comments. But yeah, no, that's I'm eating rice and barbecue shrimp right now, and it goes well with this. And I could see that too. And I mean, barbecued shrimp. What spicing did you use on that? Because that's the thing, right? You're doing something fire grilled. It makes it a little more savory than shrimp normally is. And I could see that work really well with rice as well, because it'll give that fragrant floral and fruitiness. I really like this. And yeah, in the immortal words of my buddy Guy, this is a very, very dangerous beer. Because it really doesn't feel like it's 6.5% alcohol. It really doesn't feel like it's a heavy IPA, but it's a heavy IPA. And that would wash down. You could wash down a 4-pack of this, like Oilers alumni said, very easily, and not even realize what you did. Depending on your alcohol tolerance, you would then stand up, fall over, hit your head on something, piss yourself, much like I did when I shit myself. Yeah. Out of 10? Ooh, out of 10? I think that is easily... 1 second. Yeah. Oh, and look, it left splooge. It left splooge.
Is that good in your opinion?
Yes, I like the yeast cake and all that. I'm giving that a 9 out of 10. Thank you, guys.
Nice.
Bye.
That's a nice long video there.
That thing looks like a damn mimosa. It kind of tasted like one, too. Okay, there we go. Second review of 2025 is done.
Nice.
Excuse me. I don't know much about Superflux.
So I have a question for you, Chad.
Okay.
Do you think we'll use that beer you just drank as an example of my question here? Do you think the time of year affects your ratings of beer? Like if this was summertime, and it was hot out.
I do think all beer has a place. And to that, I say, like, I usually give stuff like, say, Corona a low mark, right?
Yeah.
And there's Oilers ranking on it, which is a really good one as well. I usually give stuff like Corona and all that a low mark. However, I won't deny that if it's cold, like if it's ice cold with a lime in it, and I'm standing on a hot beach, or I just finished mowing the lawn, or I just finished working on the roof, or I just finished painting the soffia or something on a hot day, it will fucking hit the spot. Like it will.
Yeah.
So I think all beer has a place. The stuff that Hector would bring back for me from Cuba, Bucanero and Cristal and all that stuff. Again, is it great beer? It's not great beer. It's beer. But if I'm standing on a beach in Cuba, or I'm sitting in a yard in Cuba with my friends or something like that, it'll be great. So I think everything has a place. Now, for a lot of people, they will only drink stouts in, say, the winter because it's colder out and it's a heavier beer, and they don't want that heavy beer to sit on their gut or anything in the summer. I like stouts all year round.
Yeah.
That being said, I do think there are beers that, the temperature, the ambiance of the room even can really affect whether or not you like it. And that's why I try to do every one of my reviews, and they don't always happen that way, but I try to do every one of my reviews like in the same type of environment. Yeah. So that isn't affecting it. But yeah, if I had just cut the grass and I'm standing out in my yard, I don't know if I'd want to drop this back. Now, if I just cut my grass and I'm coming in and I'm sitting down in an air-conditioned room, that would probably be very refreshing. If that answers your question at all.
Yeah, it does. It's just a curious thing. It's like in the summertime, I prefer twisted teas when it's hot out. Wintertime, I never buy them.
Yeah, but you still like them. You just don't buy them.
Yeah, but I just don't buy them 'cause I'm like, I like it when it's hot out.
Yeah, see, like for me, my summertime go-to beers, and as much as people hate me for it, usually lime lagers of some type. And now that I'm here and there are craft breweries that make lime lager, it's so much nicer because I can give my money to a craft brewery and it actually
Yeah.
doesn't taste like they're trying to be overly craft. Like you get a lot of craft brewers that make a lager and they're like, let's hop it the fuck. No, if I'm looking for just a lager, I want just an easy drinking beer for cutting grass or this or that, right? Like
Yeah.
that's what I'm looking for. So when you get those type of things, it's really good. And then Radlers. Radlers are my other summertime favorite. Again, I don't mind Bud Light Radler, but Stiegl Radler is my favorite. I can get Stiegl Radler by the 4-pack here. I can also get it by the singles, so I do buy it on occasion. Great Western also makes Radlers here in Saskatchewan, and they make a fairly good Radler. So I get excited about that. And on top of that, we keep getting the mixed packs of the Big Rock Radlers here, and they make some different fruit Radlers than you would normally see. So I really like that type of stuff in the summer.
That's cool.
What do we have here? Huge fan, watching while drinking a beer and going to the bathroom. I needed both a beer and a toilet all day, but work wouldn't let me. Now it's all happening at once.
Toilet beers.
Hey, man, I've had toilet beers in the past. Welcome. Thank you for joining.
Hey, what would be your ultimate shower beer?
For me or for them?
Oh, for you. Anyone can answer the question.
Ultimate
You just have a
shower
better
beer, eh?
Yeah.
I haven't had a shower beer in forever, but my favorite. Hello, Matthew.
Everyone pipe in. What would be your favorite beer in the shower?
For everybody in the room here, what would be your favorite shower beer? Brian, you got to think of your own too. My favorite shower beer. I've had a lot of shower beers. I've even reviewed beers in the shower, if you don't remember.
No, I don't.
I would hook my GoPro up to my shower head. It would take a lot to make sure that my spots weren't showing, but I would do shower beers and I'd have my head under and it would just be running down. It was great. And I would do craft beers in the shower. I don't think anyone wants to see that anymore. I'm no longer in the shape I was in when I was doing that, because that was when I was first divorced and I was back in shape. And now I'm married to a woman that feeds me and I'm not in shape again. And I mean, round is a shape, but not in the shape I was in. So best shower beer. In all honesty, shower beers, you want to look at one of two things, right? If you like cold showers, if you're trying to like calm yourself down because you're all excited for a woman or something, you want something heavy hitting, maybe a Scotch ale or something. My favorite stout I had in the shower was I did a Bourbon County bourbon stout in the shower, which are expensive sought after beers. There's no reason I did it other than I was being an asshole, and it worked out really well. Now, if you're a fan of the like super hot showers, you have two choices, right? You go for a craft beer that is going to be very flavorful no matter what temperature it's at. Again, I personally like stouts and sours and stuff like that. Or you go for a macro beer, like say a Michelob Ultra or something, but you make sure it's ice cold and you drink it fucking fast, because that water is going to heat it up.
Which is funny because that's currently what I have.
Moosehead Radler for the shower, or Moosehead Radler just in general?
I'd probably go with a Bud Light.
Hopsecutioner. Ooh.
Just something easy.
An Italian Pilsner. Okay. Interesting suggestion. Stouts all day. Stouts all day for myself as well. So,
Yeah, I've done Michelob's in a hot tub.
I've not drank beer in a hot tub. I've done other things in a hot tub, but I haven't drank beer in a hot tub. I don't know. I don't like hot tubs all that much. I don't. I'm a weirdo. I know.
Huh.
Which Moosehead Radler? Are we just talking like regular grapefruit Radler? Because Moosehead makes a lot of Radlers. So I know I'm bearing down on your answer here. I'm like, more info.
Yeah, he wants to know. He wants to get an idea of what you're liking here. I bet you.
Guess what?
This Innocent Gun would be a good shower beer.
So remember when I did By Cutie as my last beer last time? Well, this is High Cutie, which is the exact same beer, but it's not soured.
Oh.
So it is a raspberry mint beer. Raspberry mint wild ale, wheat ale, sorry, from Bourne Brewing Company in Calgary, Alberta. So Oiler alum may have had some stuff from them. I bought this as a 4-pack at Sobeys Liquor. I'm realizing from shopping that the co-op liquor stores are the better liquor stores to go to. They have a better selection both of cans and of mixed packs. Like when I say cans, I mean singles. And their prices are better. Now, if I'm looking for just drinking beer, my best bets are the Superstore liquor stores. Because the Superstore liquor stores, you can get the no-name beers at the no-name light or the no-name lager for $35.99 a 2-4. Or you can get 2 12-packs of PC beer, and then you have like 5 different choices, depending on which one you go to. And they're $36.99 because you get to choose, right, what you're buying. So if I'm just looking for beer for the fridge, those are my cheapest 2-4s. Is going to the Superstore liquor stores. However, if I'm looking for stuff for the review, co-op liquor stores seem to be my go-to, unless I'm looking for just single cans. And then my best bet is Quant's, Urban Cellars on Quant's. However, Urban Cellars does not rotate their cans all that often. So I usually try to go there only once a month because then I'll see new things.
Are you in there looking at the bottom of the cans for the canning date?
Well, after I bought that fucking over 2-year-old beer, I've started doing that. Look at, here's a 12-pack for $3 off. 2 years old and fucking tastes like shit. Go fuck yourselves.
That's why it was that price.
Again, $3 off. That's all you gave me for 2 years old.
What brand was that again?
That was from Paddock Wood. It was Paddock Wood's 2-row lager. Paddock Wood is an interesting brewery. They're from Saskatoon, Saskatchewan. When I first started doing my live streams and stuff, when we started looking up news stories, actually, we could even talk about that other news story tonight.
I never even finished.
Oh, you didn't finish?
I was going to do more.
Okay. We can wait. We can wait till the weekend.
If you see any others, send them my way.
I will. I'll look for a few tonight and send them to you for Saturday. Maybe I'll send them to Brew as well, so we can get his ideas on them. Actually, he would know that brewery that that I sent you an article on because he's from that area of Ontario.
Yeah.
So it could be interesting to talk to him about that as well. But
is there anybody from Kitchener in here tonight? Just throwing it out there.
Yeah, we usually ask this, and we haven't tonight. Everybody that's here, where are you sitting in the world?
We know we have Edmonton.
I know that Urban Viking is trying very hard to get on here with us. It's been a long time since I've had the Urban Viking on a Albino Rhino beer review cast. The Urban Viking is in England.
Oh,
And good guy, really good guy, good friend of mine. He's had some health problems. He wasn't doing beer reviews for a very long time because he had strokes and stuff like that. And now he's past the time frame that they give you to live if you've had multiple strokes. And he's like, well, you know what? I made it past this stuff. Let's start doing beer reviews again. And he's like, I'm getting old. I made it past the time limit they gave me. Let's enjoy myself now.
nice.
Like, okay. And so he would like to get on here. So we've been trying to hit it up, but he has such a time difference, especially now that I'm not in Ontario, because Ontario isn't that far from you, but I'm still
5
an hour further. So, well, an hour further now, and sometimes during the year, 2 hours further because we don't do daylight savings time. So it makes it so that it's harder to catch him because he's already in a very different time zone, right? Southern California for Matthew.
Someone's going to have to do morning beers, whether it be him or us.
And Yosemite is just north of Atlanta, Georgia.
Nice.
So we have California, Georgia, Edmonton,
Regina,
Niagara region. Niagara still has that Niagara smell to it.
Yeah, I'm used to it. It's like asking somebody from Hamilton.
Hamilton still smells like a dirty boot. I don't know. What are you talking about?
Yeah.
I looked up Google Maps for my old house in Niagara, and it's still the exact same. They haven't fixed anything.
Nope.
They took my planters out of the front. They took my planters out of the front. That's about all they've done to that house. And I'm like, really? There was like very simple things that had to be fixed. Like simple things.
Did they buy to live in it, or is it a rental?
It was two pit bosses that bought it, and they rented it out.
Okay.
And they were pit bosses from certain countries elsewhere, and the people that rented it were from those areas as well. And they have like 10 people in that house.
Oh, okay. 10 people, and they keep having babies, and you wonder, like, is everybody watching each other?
That was always my question in the north, when you'd have like a 2-bedroom house with 16 people in it. How are you continuously having babies?
Yeah.
Easy if you don't care.
Pardon?
Easy if you don't care.
One more time?
Easy if you don't care.
They don't care. The people
we were talking about
16.
Are people watching them fuck? Probably.
Yeah. That's their entertainment. Well, tell us about your breweries in Georgia, in the Atlanta area. Anything
I don't know if I've had much from Georgia area at all, to be honest. Or Atlanta. Maybe I've had a couple, but I don't think there's been a lot. I've had a lot of US beers, but I don't think Georgia's one that I've had a bunch of stuff from. Are you okay in there? I'll be right back.
Even that was it. Yeah. So because I have to keep this going a little bit here. I can't see any comments, so I'm going blind on this one. Yeah. Any breweries, like, I forget all the names here. So I asked the guy from the Georgia area, Atlanta area, about the breweries there. What about over there in Southern California? Do you have any nearby breweries that you consider like your home brew, where it's your go-to? Or just type in the comments. Chad will pull them up when he gets back. You can also ask questions to Chad or myself. Chad's like a beer encyclopedia. He's the guy that can answer questions. I'm just a sidekick. That's all I am. Just a basic beer drinker. That's what I am. Very basic. Have you guys all lived in the same areas that you're currently residing in, or have you moved around a bit? Very popular question as Canadians like to ask each other. We talk about subject-wise is about the weather on where we are. Seeing how it's January 1st, we have no snow here. Lots of rain. Ground is wet. So hopefully there's some stuff in the comments that you can pull up now. I'll try throwing out some general questions.
Okay, I think.
Yeah, sounds like there's some background noise that he needs to mute for a little bit here. So Monday Night Brewery. Please tell me they're open Monday nights. That would suck if they were always closed. Creature Comforts. Are you looking some of these up, Chad? No? Yeah? Yeah, I saw your head nod. Red hair. Sounds like a bunny rabbit. Sweetwater, Scofflaw. I wish we had the audio just now for that look. I don't think so. Just for your reaction, but it's all good. I'm not a big movie guy, but Chad's a movie guy a little bit, more than I am. The Creature Comfort IPA out of the Athens, Georgia.
Be right back.
Yeah. Creature's Comforts IPA. Huh. I wonder how many takes it took. Do you think it was a real beer? Or do you think they had one of those fake movie beers with the real can? I'm hoping it was a real beer and took several takes and you got liquored up. And make it more entertaining to find that out. So do you visit many of these breweries or you just sort of know where they are, you've had a few things? I hope everything's okay. Oh, looks like I see Chad again. Find out if he's still sticking around. I hope everything's good over there.
Yeah, everything. There's not much I can do.
All
I
right.
just got to go check on her.
Yeah.
Norovirus is big right now in Regina, as is COVID. So she probably got one of the two.
Yep.
Which means at some point I'm going to have one of the two.
Right.
Because, she is my wife, and I'm very attracted to her, and we have done things that will mean that I'll end up sick too at some point.
Any more comments on there? Or?
Oh yeah, yes, I've heard of Sweetwater. I've never had anything by Sweetwater, but that's the only one that I knew of that.
I asked if he visits any the breweries in this area.
Yeah, no. So I don't think I've really had anything from Georgia, which is weird because I thought I had hit most of the states. Apparently, I was incorrect. I've hit a lot of countries in this world too. It's really fun when you find countries you haven't had something from.
Harlow, can you bring me my...
Oh, didn't realize you muted us again. I guess I should probably start talking.
Yeah, I'll be right back.
Good.
I'm just going to go upstairs and get my wife's water.
Hey, is there another comment I can talk about?
That's the latest comment.
All right, that's cool. Just leave it up there. Athens is far from Atlanta, but I like Horned Owl Brewing. Okay, so do you know what kind of beers they do over at Horned Owl? Yeah, I could easily look this up, but this is my phone, and this is how I am able to be seen and communicate. So, um, has the weather been nice down there? We're over there. Is buddy from California still watching us here? Is he still partaking in us? Tell us a little bit about any breweries out there. I don't know if the guy from Edmonton's still in here or not, but a few years ago, I was talking about Jasper and stuff. I went into a liquor store in Jasper, beer store, whatever you want to call it. So I'm in Jasper, and we, small little town, had the best craft beer selection I've ever seen. From all over Ontario, all over Canada, hitting all the provinces. It's small little Jasper. Oh, and there's Chad with the ears back on.
Oh, that's the last comment still. Wow.
Oh, that's all good. How is anybody still with us? I'm just talking to myself.
It might be. Let me go check.
I was throwing questions to them. I was hoping.
You were hoping, were you?
Yeah.
It says you have 3 watching.
Well, I'm not one of them. You're one of them right now.
No, that's before I was.
Oh. That's all good. Are you able to see who is watching?
He did. No.
Oh, okay.
We have 2 new comments from Yosemite.
Oh, nice. That's right. I was asking about the weather in everyone's area. I asked about the horned owls, what they have there.
The weather in Regina has been pretty good, actually. knock on wood, because it can be really, really bad, but it's been pretty good here. Do I have a dream beer road trip?
Ooh.
Well, lots of stuff I'd like to see and do, but being that I am legally blind and can't drive, I'd have to find somebody that's willing to drive with me, and so that just hasn't happened. There's a lot of them through Canada. There's a lot of them through the U.S. Lots of breweries I'd like to see, and there's lots of breweries near them that I'd like to see. Like, as much as it's a brewery that has fallen off over the last several years, I would love to see Stone. I would love to see Dogfish Head. I would love to see Firestone Walker, and I'm not saying all three of those have fallen off. Only one of them, in my opinion, has. I would love to see Samuel Adams. And the thing is, any of those could be a good road trip area to go to because there's so many things around them. Never been to any breweries past where I'm at. I've been to breweries in Quebec. I've been to breweries in Ontario. I've been to breweries in Manitoba. Never been, and here in Saskatchewan, never been to any in Alberta or BC. So there's some places there I would love to go. The Maritimes would be a great one because you can hit almost all the Maritime provinces in like a week and a half time period and hit all the breweries that are there. So it would be something fun to do. Drive up to Whitehorse and hit Whitehorse Brewing, Whitehorse Brewing Company. Something like
That'd
that
be awesome.
would be really cool.
So if you're,
go ahead.
I was going to say, if you're doing the road trip thing, now do you want to have the whole experience where you get to go to each brewery and like get a tour, or you just want to just have a flight, like a small taster, and then get to the next one? Like,
I would love to be able to do a tour of each of them, but I mean, it depends on who's with me and whether or not we have the time, right? Like,
yeah.
European breweries, I don't know enough about them to decide, but I would love to tour some breweries in, say, like Belgium. I want to go to Ireland anyway because that's where my parents were born, and I'd love to go there and see some breweries there. But whether or not it happens, I don't know. Okay, so like what you're saying right there, yeah. Like I said, I would love to, because they're breweries that I've had a lot of stuff from, and they're breweries that helped bring certain things to the map. I would love to visit Firestone Walker. I would love to visit Goose Island. I would love to visit Dogfish Head. I would love to visit Sam Adams. For Canadian breweries, I'd love to see the original Big Rock. I would love to see Four Winds because it had one of my favorite. I would love to go to the Innocent Gun Brewery in Scotland.
There you go. Because that's what got you into craft, right?
Yes, it was one of the beers that really got me into beer.
How wild is that you have like a friendship relationship with the guys from that brewery now?
And that's the weird thing, right? Like I am friends with one, like really good friends with one of them, and acquaintance friendships with the other. And one of them's the owner, and one of them's the head of Innocent Gun Canada. And it's really intriguing that out of nowhere, just doing videos on YouTube, I became friends with these guys.
Yeah, that's awesome.
Now, here was a big question here. Sorry, blind and all. Do you find the quality of a craft brewer product goes down when they are acquired by a macro? For example, Mill Street or Amsterdam. Amsterdam was bought by a big guy? That's how out of the loop I am. I have not realized that. Hey, wait, weren't you from the U.S.?
No, I don't think we ever found out where Cranium's from.
I'm going looking here. Who owns
We had
Amsterdam?
Atlanta. We had Southern Florida or Southern California.
I thought they were the California.
No, that was. I think that was Matthew.
Oh, you're right. That was Matthew.
Yeah. We're just creating time for Cranium to type in where they're located, so then we know for sure. If you tell us anything. Oh, I'm on the island of Hawaii right now. Have you ever had anything from Hawaii?
Yes, I have. Well, they were bought by Royal Unibrew.
How long ago? For the Amsterdam
2022.
thing. Wow.
In wake of the COVID-19 pandemic.
Okay.
Okay, so to answer your question, I have not had an Amsterdam beer in a very long time. Mill Street, I can touch on. A lot of Mill Street beers have gotten worse. Mill Street Organic Lager has lost a lot of its crisp flavor. It's lost a lot. It basically tastes like your average macro beer now. Their lemon tea beer lost a lot of flavor. A lot of beers of theirs have lost a lot of flavor to the point that they have lost a lot. However, to some breweries, things don't change as much. I mean, Goose Island is owned by Anheuser-Busch InBev, and they do rather well still with their Goose Island, their Bourbon County bourbon stouts. Still very sought after beers. Creemore Springs in Ontario, their quality went up with the purchase because all that really they needed was better filtration. And as soon as they had filtration from Molson put in, their beer had longevity. Their beer was able to sit on a shelf without turning, and they were able to spread out. So you don't always say lose, but you do lose quite often. And yeah, I agree that Mill Street has lost some steps. I still buy the Vanilla Porter if I see it. I still buy the Cobblestone Stout if I see it. And those were the two beers that really made them worth buying for Labatt, because Labatt was able to get the trademark for a nitro widget, and they were also able to get a distilling license out of the deal. So it was a good deal for them, but yeah, a lot of their beers seem to have gone downhill. Now, I haven't had a Amsterdam beer since probably 2020, maybe 2021. So I don't know how they've gone. I don't actually hate that they had to sell, because there were some business practices that pissed me off that have happened with them. They played a lot of games too, so I'm actually surprised a macro brewery bought them, but it was a macro brewery from Europe, so it just gave them capacity to brew in Canada. I do hear that the Double Tempest still has a Double Tempest day and stuff like that, so I guess they're still doing okay, but I haven't had a Double Tempest since 2019, so I don't know how their stuff has continued. But yes, I do agree that you didn't say whether you agreed or not, you just asked if I found it. I did find that the quality of Mill Street product has gone down since they were purchased. And to the point where I was living in Nunavik at the time that the first big brand beers were starting to roll out. And I was buying their mix packs all the time. And then I started getting the mix packs that were brewed by the big breweries. And I could taste the difference right then and there. And I didn't know that I was still getting some old cases until I started looking at dates. And I was like, oh shit, look at the different dates. And the quality has changed quite drastically. And I wasn't caring, because at the time it was the cheapest stuff I could get that I enjoyed up to Nunavik. And once that change happened, I stopped buying the stuff. Sierra Nevada does some really good stuff. Yeah. Formerly from Ontario, now in the U.S. So there you go.
Yeah. So when you think back into your history of beer drinking, what was like the first brewery or two that you remember going from being a micro to being bought out?
Ooh.
Where you're like, oh, and like where it changed the taste, or things changed, like, oh, whether it went better or worse.
So many breweries have sold, and a lot of them I haven't had since they sold. And it wasn't that I was like, I'm boycotting you. It's just that I haven't had them. So, and I get that it's always a thing. It's always something that you're going to choose to do because the right amount of money is going to make you sell no matter what. You can say you
Yep.
love your business as much as you want. Somebody comes at you with $100 billion to say Lagunitas. I think Lagunitas was $1 billion was what they sold for. Somebody comes to
Wow.
you and goes, "I'm going to give you $1 billion." You're going to fucking sell.
Yeah, because you
Like
can
you are.
you'll restart with your, because it's your ideas.
Yeah. I was drinking. I drank Upper Canada before Upper Canada was sold.
Okay.
Upper Canada's only really made the two beers. So once they sold, the two beers pretty much stayed the same. The lager changed a lot more than the dark did. The Brick, when the Brick sold half of their business to the brewery from China, they
Yeah.
sold brewery recipes that they had bought from other people. So stuff like
Okay.
Red Baron and all that. And Red Baron was never great to begin with, but it was a lot worse after, if you get my drift.
Yeah.
Creemore, I do think Creemore went to the better side. Bose, I haven't had Bose since they were sold to Steam Whistle. Now, Steam Whistle is still considered a craft brewery, but Steam Whistle is getting big, right? Steam Whistle is now Bose, Steam Whistle, and Von Bugle. So
Hmm.
sooner or later, they're going to be considered a macro brewery or at least a regional brewery.
Yeah. And that's all based on the amount you brew, right?
Yes, it's based on your capacity. Um, Sleeman is a big brewery. Sleeman bought Unibrew, and I think Unibrew for the most part stayed the same. Unibrew beers are still very good. So I guess it matters where in the world your brewery, like your ownership is at. So Sleeman isn't even owned by Sleeman anymore. Sleeman is owned by a brewery in China in the end. But Sleeman was a macro brewery of its own, and Sleeman bought Unibrew, and Sleeman was bought by a brewery in China. So Sapporo, I do believe. So they have an ownership of an ownership of an ownership type of thing. And their beer
Yeah.
is still really good. Like I still love La Fin de Monde. I still love Maudit. I still love a lot of the Fmirs. If I see them in the store, I'll still buy them. So it's great that stuff exists. I mean, there's like double La Fin de Monde and shit like that now.
Yeah.
So they're still given a very high amount of autonomy, and I think that's what it comes down to: is how much autonomy are you given? Uh, if you look at, say, Anheuser-Busch, which owns Labatt, which owns Alexander Keith's, which like you can go down that list.
Yeah.
They don't seem to give a lot of autonomy to people. Molson seems to pick and choose who gets autonomy. The only Anheuser-Busch craft brewery that I can think of that had autonomy to an extent is Goose Island. And it's not like the entire lineup of Goose Island stayed great. It was like, we're not going to fuck with the Bourbon County Bourbon Stout, but we'll fuck with everything else. Because
Hmm.
one of those beers was what they make big money on, and the rest of them they sold.
Yeah.
But you look at Molson. Molson has bought a lot of craft breweries in their lifetime. and a lot of them are left the same. However, any craft brewery that seems to be bought by Anheuser-Busch or Labatt seems to be having its autonomy stripped, and anything purchased from Sleeman or from their parent company seems to the most part be left with autonomy as well. So I guess it really does matter who purchases you, more so than just you're purchased by a big guy. But I can't fault people for selling. Like when Steve Abrams sold Mill Street, could I fault him for selling to Labatt? That man walked with over $10 million just himself, right? Like he sold for three figures in the millions. Like it was over 100 million that he sold for, and his payout was great, and he got to stay on as a executive. So why wouldn't you, if your kids don't want the business and this and that, why wouldn't you take the money and make yourself a better life?
Oh, it makes sense.
And you can say you're a sellout, but if I had a little brewery, say I bought this brewery in Lumsden we keep talking about.
Yeah.
And I do amazing to the point where I can get out of Saskatchewan and I'm in other parts of the country, and Labatt or Molson come to me and go, we will give you $100 million for your business. And say I own 90% of my business. That means I'm walking with $90 million. Guess who's fucking walking with $90 million?
You are.
Exactly. Like, I can't fault these guys for the sale.
Oops. Can you hear me?
Yep.
Okay. Well, that's like, isn't that the reason why Lakeport sold?
Yeah, they got offered an insane amount of money.
It was like $25 million or something.
Yes, and that was like over 20 years ago, and they were a nothing brewery. Like,
yeah, and that was like a no-brainer. Like,
and it was another thing where they didn't have a bunch of investors and this and that. It was like all the money went to them.
Yeah.
So why wouldn't you take it and leave? Like, I can keep making a salary of like $80,000 a year after all my expenses. Yeah. Or I can walk with 25 million. Which one are you going to take? And you can say, oh, well, you sold out. You can say that all you want.
That's your whole point, though, in life.
Yeah, you should want to succeed. Like when you raise kids, you want the kids to do better than you did.
Yeah.
So I'm a nobody fucking manager at a retail store. Like that's what I do. My wife is a supervisor at what she does. Like we're both upper management in our jobs. Well, I guess upper lower management.
Yeah.
But why would we want our kids to do worse than us? We'd want them to do better. So if we owned a business where we're offered enough money to change the life of everybody in our family, why wouldn't we take it? Now, it'd be one thing if we were making like $6 million a year and they offered us $100 million. Hey, I still have this many years of working, and then my kids have. Maybe I wouldn't sell then. But if I know the wage some of these people were making because I'm friends with, like, I know Steve. Me and Steve are good buddies. I know what he was making as the owner of Mill Street. It wasn't like it was more than I was making, but it wasn't like it was unreachable amounts. So the money he made on that sale when his kids already did not want anything to do with the business was amazing. Do
you remember when Rolling Rock got sold?
Yes.
That was the first one I can remember that was ever sold. I'm like, and their quality went down.
See, I didn't cross the border as much then, so I don't, and I never bought Rolling Rock really, right? So I don't know. Like, and that's the thing, right? So everybody has a different, and I don't think there's anyone even watching us anymore. I think it's just me and you now answering his question.
Who cares?
Exactly.
Someone might watch this later on and comment.
I don't think, I find it funny I shouldn't say I don't think. I find it funny that so many people will judge these sales without thinking about what you would do in that predicament.
Well, an example would be like when you hear musicians say, "Oh, they sold out. They became a."
And we're glad you're here.
Yeah. Please add some comments.
Yeah. Comment, question, concern, all that stuff.
Yeah.
This is.
Well, that's,
even ask for a link. I'll send you a link. Come join us.
yeah. But that's like when you have musicians say, "Oh, that musician sold out. They got a big hit. They're making money." It's like, isn't that your goal as a musician, to be able to support yourself? It always makes me laugh. And they're like, "Oh, well, don't you want people to hear your music?" So many gatekeepers in the music industry. In my opinion,
gatekeepers in every industry nowadays.
that's true. But that's what you hold on to keep yourself to feel relevant.
Alicia, did you call in sick yet?
Yes.
Okay. Oh, of course you're not going to get a response. She doesn't want to go to work tomorrow. Okay, I gotta go take a pee. Since you're the only one here, you're in charge, Brian. Hopefully,
is there any new comment? Is there any comments?
No new comments.
All right. No new comments. Are you drinking anything now, Yosemite? It doesn't matter if it's just water, apple juice. It's just a big, curious question. Were you eating anything? Well, what kind of snacks do you like? Always all about snacks and hearing about snacks. Oh, sounds like he's coming back.
Oh.
Welcome back. And Chad is back. Welcome back, Chad.
No ducks.
No ducks.
Ooh, Terrapin is a brewery I've had beers from.
Well, tell us what you think about Terrapin.
I've liked some beers. I've disliked some beers. That's what you should expect from almost any brewery, right? Like,
yeah,
I get breweries that get angry at me if I post a video or I post an Untapped that isn't nice. And they're like,
yeah,
you are an influencer. You should. I go, first off, I shouldn't be influencing anybody because everybody should make their own choices. The second of all, if I don't like it, that's perfectly fine. You like it, you like it. I don't need to like it. I need to speak my truth about what I think of it. And that's what it comes down to for me. And it pisses them off when I don't like something. Because apparently I'm not allowed to not like something.
well, it just means they got the wrong influencers that they keep loving. And I don't like the term influencer, but it's kind of show and tell is what it is. It's an adult word for show and tell. Look what I have. Look what I can do. Look what you can get. You should try this out. Like,
well, there you go. So
I've
had some beers from Georgia, Yosemite. Just
there you go.
Only Terrapin. Brian, you are the red hat guy.
Oh yeah, that's cool.
That's a shitty team on your hat.
Oh, if you wore your hat, we'd say the same thing too.
At the very least, though, it's better than the hat that most people in Ontario wear.
What? Montreal?
No, the laughs.
Ah. Can you imagine when they win another Stanley Cup, what it's going to feel like in the province?
If you live in Toronto when Toronto wins the cup, you better lock your doors.
I just think overall, it's going to be like a giant uplifting party. Even
Wayety
if you're
goes.
even if you're not a Leafs fan.
No, I'm not going to be happy when the Leafs win the cup.
Why? Because you know that Ottawa didn't win it that year? That's the only reason not to be happy.
I've never liked the Leafs ever in my life.
Yeah, well,
Leaf
you're
fans
from
gave me a bad taste in my mouth because when I started into hockey, the Pittsburgh Penguins were my team. You
okay.
know, Lemieux, the Samuelsons, Ken
Yeah,
Reggett, Rick Tocchet, like the entire fucking Jaromir Jagr. That
yep,
team was amazing, and I loved it. And I loved it when they were horrible, and I loved it when they won their 2 Stanley Cups. And
yep.
the Senators came into the league later on. But I got berated so many times for not liking the Laughs or the Canadiens that I don't care for either of them to an extent that I don't want either of them to win.
Yeah.
I want the cup to come back to Canada. I want it to be Vancouver, Calgary, Edmonton, or Ottawa that wins, right? Fuck the other two.
Not what about Winnipeg?
Oh, I don't even think about Winnipeg. Fuck Winnipeg. Winnipeg will have a fucking riot that kills people regardless of whether they win or lose.
That's true.
What happened? Well, I lived in the stabbing capital of Canada. And the Stanley Cup was won. And I opened my door and somebody stabbed me.
Oh, that's
I mean, they're only like 2 or 3 murders away from being the murder capital of Canada. Right now, that still belongs to Thunder Bay.
I wonder where per capita the murder capital is this last year. Hey,
Hello, Sarah Harris. How are you? Where in the country are you? What's going on? You
where in
drinking
the
anything tonight? You have
where in the world are you?
well, world, yeah. You're not necessarily Canada. What's going on? And again, if any of you want a link, let me know. You can get it. We can do all this. We have the
Yeah.
power. Yes, the Thrashers are the Winnipeg Jets now.
Hey, Calgary Flames used to be in Atlanta. Used to be the Atlanta Flames. Yep. Atlanta's
And
had 2 teams leave.
Atlanta has had 2 teams leave. Winnipeg had 1 team leave. It was the Winnipeg Jets. The Winnipeg Jets left, and then the Winnipeg Jets came back.
Yeah.
Hey, you have the chance to control the conversation. Lead us in a different direction.
Yeah, we just got talking hockey. If you want to talk football, college football is going on right now.
I don't know
Rose
much about it,
Bowl.
but I can tell you whether or not I like a team just by its name.
Yeah.
Do you like this team? No, I don't.
We talk baseball, basketball, music.
Old wrestling.
Anybody want to share their age range to us? Let us know.
Well, who was it that I think it was Cope? It was I think it was him that said like 10 years ago they were in college.
Yeah. Well,
Excuse me.
I just noticed we had a female name. I want to say their true age.
That one?
Yeah.
What about the
Okay,
Atlanta
nice.
Knights?
Well, that one I didn't know about. Were they NHL or were they AHL or different sport? Which sport? Please tell us it's hockey.
Luckily, I have what's called the Google.
That's true. I know they're talking. They want to bring another hockey team back to Atlanta. It could succeed.
It was a minor league professional ice hockey team from 92
Okay.
to 96.
Ooh. Does it say what league?
The International Hockey League.
Okay,
So the
IHL.
IHL, which was what they was that was the no, the ECHL was the feeder league for the AHL.
No, I think ECHL is below that. That's like the lowest you can go for. That's where all the guys go to fight.
So the ECHL you would say would be like beer league?
Beer league with a paycheck.
Beer league with a paycheck? Okay.
Yeah. And probably a paycheck that's just a little bit more than beer money. Well, that's cool.
See, the team I cheer for in the NHL is the Ottawa Senators. I am an Ottawa boy. That's where I was born and raised. Most of my formidable years were in Ottawa. The rest of my formidable years were in the Arnprior area, which is the Ottawa Valley. Their minor league team was in Binghamton, New York, forever, and now it is. It's in Ontario now.
Kingston?
Where? No, I don't. It's not Kingston. It's Here, let's use the Google machine. Where are the the baby Sens now?
I've noticed a lot of the NHL teams are bringing their AHL teams into like the same city almost now, which makes sense when you have to call someone up. They're like right there.
I didn't say baby Belleville. Belleville Senators.
Oh, that's what I was thinking of when I said Kingston, because they're the ones that used to be Hamilton Bulldogs. Hamilton Bulldogs, and then the Belleville team of the OHL switched.
The Gwinnett area. I've never even heard of that area, to be honest.
Hey, we're learning something new.
I would love to have more NHL teams in Canada where hockey has a lot more following, but I get it. The Canadian dollar is dropping again significantly.
I think that area is just on the outskirts of Atlanta.
Okay. It's one of those weird things, right? Like you see the commissioner knows that the most money is in the US. So he tries to bring as many teams to the US as he can. Here's a question. Have you ever been to a Thrashers game? And if you've been to a Thrashers game, what was beer at a Thrashers game? Because I can tell you, I've been to a Rough Riders game here in Saskatchewan, and the $11 beers are a little harsh. They make my penis retreat into my body.
That's the cold weather.
It's not the cold weather. It was not the cold weather. Okay? It was the fact that I had to pay $11 for a fucking Coors banquet. Okay? That's what made my penis go away.
Oh, that's cool. That's good.
Oh,
Nice seat location.
Yes, that really was. Okay. I can't get the information I need. It's okay. No, beer is insane, but I like looking at the list. I like looking at the price comparisons of beer in different venues. And for the CFL, or the Canadian Football League, Saskatchewan is not the highest priced beer, which is scary because Saskatchewan, you will see people drink like 15 beers at the game. And you're like, those were $11 a piece, motherfucker. Like, where are you working? I want to work where you work. Like,
could you imagine if they were cheap beers?
what kind of beer increase flaccid length? Anything that is worth, well, nothing right now because my wife is sick, so nothing will increase my length.
No, they want to know what beers that will increase it.
Most beers, if the price is right. I mean, you know, I go to a football game and I get like a $4 beer, my dick will go woo. But you're not going to find that.
Now, before the games, did they have like a happy hour? I know they've done that in the Ticats games the last few years, like $5 pints of Molson or Coors for the hour before kickoff.
They have or not, because I haven't gone to any of the places that sell the draft. I've only gone to the can stand.
Okay.
Ooh, $14 US.
Yes, but it's just like those mega tall cans. That would make a huge difference if you're getting like a liter of beer.
See, and that stuff pisses me off. When you're cheating your fans just to make more money, it pisses me off. It really does. People complain about going to a bar and paying like $7 for a pint, but they'll go to a stadium
and happily pay. Happily.
Yep. And it's the same people that would go to your place of business and be like, "Why is this pint $8.50?" But then they'll go to the Air
That'd
Canada
be a great
Center.
price.
Yeah, they'll go to the Air Canada Center. Well, it was $8.50 when I left.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
That's 2/3 of the price.
Really?
Yeah.
Holy fuck. Well, you are owned by an American company now. But then they'll go to like the ACC and they'll pay like $15 for that same beer, and they'll be like, "Give me more, yeah!" And it's like, what the fuck?
They have to jack the prices up at those.
What's the overall ratio, dollars to inches?
In my opinion, they have to keep the prices high at the sporting events and concerts, because if it's cheap, you're gonna get way too many drunkards and you'll just lose control.
For every $3, no, because
half inch.
No. I was going to say for every $2 over bar prices, you lose an inch. So if you are like somebody that has 6 inches and it's $12 more than the bar price, now you have 0 inches. You shouldn't even look at a girl. You have nothing to give her.
That's funny.
And if you're smaller now, you're in the negatives. So I don't know. Maybe you can make something exponentially you explode, or I don't know.
What's the area like around the Braves Stadium?
Around the which stadium?
Atlanta Braves Stadium, since they say it season's tickets. And I like going to Major League Baseball games. I've run out of places within driving distance.
You did mention retraction. It checks out. My wife makes fun of me because she says I'm a cheap Irishman, and she's not wrong. I'm a cheap Irishman. So when I go out and I go to somewhere and they have like a Coors Banquet or a Michelob Ultra or something, and it's a can that I can buy for $4, and they're like, 12.50, please. I'm like, ooh, you can fucking keep that. Well, I opened it already. I don't give a shit. You can keep that. I'll go home after the game and drink. I mean, I'm okay
Yeah.
with that. Like, it's.
I'll drink 3 of those at home.
Yeah, I know you have to make money to keep a business open, but when you're making money by exploiting people, it pisses me off. And to go after it, to take a venue where you know drinking is going to happen and super inflate the price, that's exploitation to me. Even I ran a beer festival for many years, and in my beer festival we would sell bottles of water. And say I bought a 24 pack of, I would usually go and buy like the Great Value water is what I would buy, like Walmart
Yeah.
brand. And in Ontario, you could get that on sale for $2 a 2-4. So every 4 bottles, if you sold them for a quarter, would be worth $1. So I could buy that case in 8 bottles, and I would sell them for 25 cents a bottle. And people would come up and be like, "Can I get a water?" I'm like, "Sure, give me a quarter." They're like, "A quarter?" Because they were expecting to hear like $5 because other beer festivals would like rake them over the coals for. I go, I want you to stay hydrated, because the longer you stay hydrated, the more time you're going to spend here. The more time you spend here, the more money you spend on my vendors. The more money you spend on my vendors, the happier my vendors are, and the more they want to come back next year.
Yeah.
So why would I rake you over the coals for a bottle of water that the case cost me $2 to buy? Like, why would I do that? And my festival wasn't for my profit. It went to charity. It went to the Ronald McDonald House.
Yeah.
And it pissed me off when I would go to another festival and be like, I need water. And they'd be like, give me $6. I'm like, what are you talking about? You're supposed to be, like, if you read the rules of the AGCO, you're supposed to be providing me water so that I can stay hydrated and not become intoxicated. It always pissed me off. Always. It was one of the things that would always make me angry.
What about hotels around the Braves area? Is it safe to walk around that stadium? Like I went to Baltimore. And that stadium's downtown. My hotel is right across the street. I got there by a light rail train from the airport. It was you don't go out at night there.
Oh, were you scared to cross the street?
No, I was fine because I could see the hotel from my seat almost. But 3 or 4 blocks in another direction, totally different area. What about getting to the from the airport to the area of the stadium? Because if I don't have to rent a car, it's even better. Like, is there public transit or shuttles? Like, I don't know. I've never looked how close the stadium is to the airport. And I hope you're going to the All-Star game. Oh, that's cool. It's in the suburbs. That's cool.
You could walk 15 miles. I have faith in you.
No. Well, yeah, I could, but maybe other people with me wouldn't. Oh, it's too far of a walk. I
I'm
would
telling your
not
wife
choose
you
to.
said that about her.
I say it to her all the time.
I love you, Alicia. Are you okay?
Oh,
Do you want me to fuck you and get excited when you puke on me? I don't know yet. Let me look at the camera and see what the dogs are doing upstairs. Pardon? No, I did not tell the boy to stay in his room. I don't know what he's done. Yes, he has chosen to stay. He always chooses to stay in his room.
That's because he's a teenager.
No, he chose that before he was a teenager. All the lights are on too, though. I think he's locked Judge up for the night, but he's left all the lights on. You have one giant white fur ball on the couch and one on the floor. Can you guess which one is where?
Colleen's on the couch, Otis is on the floor.
You are right. Otis is scared of you. He is on the floor.
Colleen gets mad if I take too long to go to bed to disrupt her ability to get up on the couch.
She is 100% correct with that. If you stay up too late, Colleen stares at you the whole time going, you're supposed to be in bed. And if you stay up too long, she gets on the couch anyway and goes, fuck you, I'm getting on the couch.
My long-term game plan is to hit up all the Major League Baseball stadiums. I had a good routine going before COVID. Unfortunately, that all stopped then.
How many do you have left?
Actually, quite a few. In 2020, I had a trip planned that obviously got canceled. And I was going to be flying into Milwaukee, seeing a Brewers game. And then Milwaukee's only 60 miles roughly north of Chicago along the lake. And I was going to get down to Chicago and then Cubs game in the afternoon, and I was going to take the subway or the L train, whatever it is, and catch a White Sox game at night. Do a doubleheader, 3 stadiums in a couple of days.
Nice.
And the doubleheader would have been on my birthday.
Well, sorry, there's no MLB teams in Regina.
No, Toronto's the MLB team for Canada.
Yes, I've had beers from them.
You have any more beer, Chad?
I still have a glass of Way It Goes.
What about after that? You're having another one?
Maybe. It's out.
So
if there's enough people that talk, or if there's anyone that joins us, then I guess I can have it. Because my wife isn't going to get any penis tonight.
Yeah. Well, I'm just asking, so I should know if I should crack one. Should I save my ice beer for another time?
Which ice? Oh, Bush Ice. You bought that at the corner store, right?
Yeah.
No, I think you should open it.
Or I have an Innocent Gun, one of those bottles in my fridge.
I think you should do the ice beer because you liked the Innocent Gun.
Okay. I like how the top here, the Bush Ice, it says 6% in large letters.
I mean, I could put this guy away and pull out the ice beer you sent me, you motherfucker. Because it's less percentage, but I hate that one so much that I don't know if I want to drink it.
Yeah. Save it for a day where you're several in.
I could also put this away and pull out one of the 8 more 2-year-old beers, but those are gross.
Here we go. Look at the color on this one, Chad.
Yeah, look at that. Just clear yellow. Like full-on piss yellow. It's the color it's going to look when you urinate afterwards.
Well, there you go. So now you know it's not changing anything inside my bladder.
No, it's all coming right back out.
Yeah. This smells not good.
You don't say.
But I bet you're not going to have the same face that you just made.
What face was that?
You just have a very sour, disgusted look on your face. That's right. Bush Ice.
I don't mind Bush Light. Like I could drink Bush Light. I don't mind Bush as I could drink Bush. I don't mind Bush at all. You don't have to shave for me. But Bush Ice, no.
I was
Alicia,
so
I don't care if you have
surprised.
Bush. You know that, right?
What?
I don't care if you have Bush.
Okay. You better not do like the hairiest penis ever.
I don't have the hairiest penis ever. What are you talking about?
Maybe that she's ever seen.
No, you have to pick fuzz off of it because the blanket has fuzz.
Yeah, it's not like.
It's the blanket.
I gotta get the tweezers out and pluck your dick.
You've never gotten the tweezers out and plucked my dick, you liar. Hi, YouTube. What do you have to say, Brian? I can see it in your face.
Oh.
That's the woman I picked over there. That's the woman I picked.
That's good.
You know, she makes fun of my choices, but she was my choice. I asked her to marry me.
That's true.
You know that, right?
What?
I asked you to marry me, and you make fun of my choices?
I chose to accept.
Yeah, I know you chose to accept because you realized what a catch I was. She's silent. See, she knows. She realizes.
I'm not listening.
You're not listening. You are listening, or else you wouldn't have known to say, I'm not listening.
We need her to get in to start streaming this and just getting to the chat. That'd be hilarious.
Before we were really a thing, she used to do that. Like I would live stream and she would be in the chat room commenting.
Yeah.
I was in my teddy bear onesie once and she was like, ooh, you look good.
Did you know it was her at the time?
Yeah, well, it said Alicia, right? And we had already been
Okay.
talking on the internet. And she didn't have to say anything because, like I said, I fell in love with her in high school. All she had to do was show up. And me be single at the time because, yeah. It was when I found out she lived in the same area as us because we both grew up in the Ottawa Valley. And then my now ex-wife came up to me one day and is like, hey, I work with a girl from Arnprior. And I'm like, who? And she told me, I'm like, I had the biggest crush on her in high school. And that, I think, was the beginning of the end to our marriage right then and there.
Oh, well. It's a good thing you said that out loud.
I know. What would have happened if I had kept it to myself?
Possibly not this conversation happening.
Yeah.
Or we'd still be working together.
I don't know, because even then I was always thinking about going out east. And then I went out west instead. But I was thinking about going out east because I could sell my house and have enough money to buy a house and not even move any of my furniture. Like I could buy everything new.
Yeah.
And start completely fresh. And then COVID happened. And when COVID happened, the housing prices in the Maritimes blew up because everybody in Toronto was like, we can move to the Maritimes, buy a house for like $45,000 and work from home at our $150,000 a year job.
Yeah.
And that just drove the housing prices up so much that I was looking at places that had been up when I was first getting divorced, and they were up for like 60,000. There was a building. It was an entire building. It was a 4-unit building. Like each floor was a different unit. So it was like 9 bedrooms, 4 bathrooms. And it was like $60,000 when I started looking. And then after COVID happened, it was in the exact same shape where the top 2 floors needed to be completely renovated still. But
Yeah.
the bottom 2 floors were perfect. And it was up for like 350,000. And it was the exact same building, hadn't been sold yet, but it had jumped over $300,000. Well, almost $300,000, should I say, just because COVID happened and people from Toronto were buying places with Toronto money.
That's crazy. Nuts.
That's what brought us out to the prairies, was the Toronto money buying houses in the Maritimes. Like even houses in Newfoundland, and Newfoundland is worse than Nova Scotia or New Brunswick to the point where there is absolutely nothing in Newfoundland for the most part if you're not in like St. John's. Like there are some times where you're driving for like an hour and a half to get groceries because there's nothing. And the houses went from like 30 grand for a house to like 200,000, and I'm like, who's paying 200,000 for a dilapidated 3-bedroom home where you flood and you can't get groceries unless you're willing to drive away for over an hour each way? Like, who's doing this? Tell me who's doing this.
How many freezers would those houses have?
You would think a lot, and you must have a lot of generators and stuff too in case the power goes out.
Like, would it be cost effective out there to have a walk-in fridge and freezer?
Probably. You can get 4x4s are the cheapest way to go if you're buying the walk-ins. As soon as you go past 4x4, you're paying for the custom because they all come as 4x4s to begin with. So if you had a 4x4 freezer and a 4x4 refrigerator, and those things might not break for like 10 years, but they cost a lot to fix when they break. But I mean, they are a great idea to have in a place like that if you want to store a lot of stuff. Have your own cows and just butcher them, right? Like,
that's
ground beef. Ho, ho, ho.
Yeah.
Is it just me and you now? Is everybody gone?
I don't know.
Oh no, it still says we have 3 viewers. Guys, talk to us. Chat.
Yeah, please.
Be here.
You want to come join us? We can add more.
I can give you. You're more than welcome to join us.
More streams.
I mean, I was going to be offline an hour and a half ago, but my wife got sick and now she's in bed, and there's nothing I can do anyway. So,
hey, just remember, on this live stream, you caught the moment of her sickness live.
Yeah, you
were muted. No, not even that. It was muted, and you had this look on your face, dude.
Okay, I'm gonna go take another urination break.
Ah, someone's cracked the seal.
They heard you puking, honey. What do you mean you don't?
No.
Care?
His bathroom's just off to the side. So, what other baseball stadiums have you been to since you're a Major League Baseball fan? Or for any other sporting event too, like someone's into hockey or football. For Major League Baseball, I've been to a Sky Dome or Rogers Center, which is where the Toronto Blue Jays play. Been in Detroit. Been down to Cincinnati, Cleveland, Pittsburgh, Baltimore. All right, welcome back, Chad McKee.
We still have no new comments.
I just finished asking a question, a long-winded one about stadium. Who's been where? So hopefully someone's typing some stuff. Maybe they're just drinking too much.
They're on the other live stream that happens on Wednesday night.
Oh, is that on right now?
It's probably offline at this point, but it happens tonight.
Oh. Forgot it was Wednesday night. Is that why you want to do it again, just out of spite?
No, I don't try to do that type of stuff. Like, it just
worked out.
Like I said, I just had nothing to do tonight, so I'm like, you know what? Let's go do this. I wasn't even thinking about that until right now.
Maybe they took the holiday off.
I'm going to check right now, to be honest with you.
Should have popped into their chat.
No, they did not stream for the last 2 weeks.
Oh, so you mean last week when we did it? No.
We didn't do it last week.
Oh, no.
We could have.
No, it was 2 weeks ago. I had to work last week. That's what it was.
It's all good. I mean,
Yeah.
I don't try to interfere with that, even though the one member of their little group thinks that I do it on purpose.
Yeah. No need to waste the energy on that. Really, who cares?
Okay, so there's 2 viewers now. So there's one person and me. So what should we talk about?
Please type something at us.
Just join us. Come and say hello.
Yeah.
Say, hey, Chad, send me an email to this address with a link. We like making, look at us. Aren't we friendly looking people?
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. You don't even need a beard to be here.
No, that's just your luck. But if you have a different colored beard, that's okay.
If you have a red beard per se, maybe not. But
no, they'd be cool.
I'm making fun of a buddy of mine, Carrie, whose YouTube name is Redbeard.
Yeah.
Let's grab this.
You drinking some water in there now?
Well, you might as well mix some water in, right?
Yeah. Look at you being Mr. Responsible.
Well, I do have to work in the morning.
What time?
10.
Awesome.
I'm 10 to 6:30 tomorrow.
Ooh. Guess you're going to be getting there on your own tomorrow?
No. My wife usually drops me off at 8 a.m., but she's sick, so I don't know what I'll do. We'll figure it out.
Hey, you should you should vlog some of your walk to work sometime.
I should.
That's a little snippet of this is what I can see.
The walk would be an exact straight line until you get to Ring Road, because Ring Road is where things happen. Because you leave my door and you walk like the 200 meters to Victoria Street, then you turn right and you follow Victoria Street till you get to my job, which is like 3 kilometers away.
Now, do you ever bus it?
No, I need to learn that still.
You just mean you need someone to take you, right?
Yeah, I usually need somebody with me the first go, and then I'm good. It's a vision thing, right? Like I don't see things, so it's
Now, is that just a matter of like, this is just a curiosity question that you need someone to be on there for the ride for where you get on and where you get off, or it'd be just in
Basically,
general,
yeah.
or is it just in general to learn how the bus or, you know what I mean? Like to get on the bus.
I usually would need. In Ottawa, it was easier. In Ottawa, the bus drivers were more used to dealing with blind or legally blind riders.
Yeah.
So you could get on and be like, "This is where I'm trying to get," and
Yeah.
the CNIB would even give you like call cards where you'd hold it up, and if the bus is coming to you, you'd hold it up, and it would say what number you're looking for because like 7 different buses would stop at each stop, and they
Yeah.
tell you whether or not they were that bus.
Okay.
Where here you don't really get that, right? You need to know yourself. Now, the good thing for me is that most buses will travel to where I'm going to an extent. Like
Yeah.
I may have to walk some of the way, maybe a kilometer, depending on which bus I'm on. But
Yeah.
it's learning that route and learning which bus is where and when that
Yeah.
I need the help with.
Okay.
Because basically I can't read what number bus is coming to me, right? But for the
Yeah.
most part, if I hit Victoria and I jump on a bus, that bus should be going under Ring Road at some point.
Yeah.
It's just I need to know whether or not I'm on the bus that, turns around at Home Depot, or the bus that turns around at Walmart, or the bus that turns around basically right where I'm trying to go.
Okay.
And that's why we have such shoplifting problems, is the buses take you right to us.
Okay. So, all right. That makes sense on something I'm just thinking of right now. In Welland, the bus that went to the Walmart doesn't go to the Walmart anymore. It stopped. Do you remember going into that plaza at all when you're in Welland?
The Walmart Plaza?
Yeah. There's a Canadian
Yeah.
Tire, there's a Rona. So since you've left, it's built up more. There's a liquor store there. There's some other stuff being built. So the bus used to go to Walmart, drop off, and pick up there. But now it drops on that road you turn onto to get access to those two plazas. It drops there, loops around, and picks up on the other side of the street. So now people who used to go to Walmart complains that now it's such a far walk if you're disabled with a cane or a walker. Bringing that shoplifting thing into the idea, like that makes sense if that's part of the reasoning.
Yeah, like the buses will drop off right across the street from where I am. So
Yeah.
then you have Rona, my place of business, and PV Mart all right
Yeah.
there, and the Superstore, like
Yeah.
the real Canadian Superstore. They're all within like 20 meters of each other. Just
Yeah.
two on this side of the street and two on this side of the street. And so the bus drops you off there, you steal whatever you need to steal, you make it to a bus shelter, you get on the bus, you end up back downtown. And that's what happens, right? Is the people that are going to come and shoplift, it's a group of them. You can usually see them all in the bus shelters together, like looking through their theft items. And
Yeah.
it's all people that have come from the ghetto, and they've
Yeah.
gone on one bus. It drops them off, and they can hit all of our stores if they want to hit other stores. Like if I left my place of business within 20 minutes of walking from my place of business, I have passed Canadian Tire, Walmart, Michaels, Marshalls, Home Depot, whatever you want, you've probably passed on your walk from my work.
Yeah.
3 different liquor stores, like Best Buy, like it's insane. Old Navy. So you get to get all of them in one section, jump on a bus, and get back to the hood, and you're fine.
Yeah. That's interesting. That sucks. That part of life, part of the cost of working, owning a business.
Yeah, like I don't think a lot of people realize what goes into owning a business. What goes into running said business, what goes into anything with that business.
Yeah. Obviously, as someone, the business owners don't want people knowing publicly how much theft or crime is happening. And they might be like, oh, well, maybe it's not a safe store, right? You don't want to that. Same time, it'd be encouraging. Oh, come steal. You can steal. That's like how it's become publicly known in Ontario. The LCBO doesn't chase shoplifters.
Well, that's kind of our problem, right? Is it's known that we don't chase shoplifters. And I have to fight myself daily not to punch a shoplifter in the throat.
Yeah.
Because I can't, and I talk about this quite often with my boss, because she's like, you can get agitated really easily about this. I go, I came from a place where you had to defend your property or it got worse. And I go, and that's the thing, it's going to get worse here before it gets better, because you guys don't defend it at all. I go, I came from prison rules. Like, you hired me from the Arctic. In the Arctic, if you didn't fucking punch the shit out of somebody that came in to steal from you, they were coming in to steal more and more and more and more and more until they got whatever they wanted.
Yeah.
I go, we see the same thieves every single day, and we're like, oh, whatever, they're just here to steal from us. I go, if you beat the fuck out of them, they ain't coming back. Like, that's the truth of the matter. I know I'm not allowed to, but you know what? If I fucking beat the living snot out of one of these motherfuckers, them and all their friends would think twice before they came back.
Yeah.
It's that they know we're not allowed to, that they come back over and over and over and over again. And I go, and I'm not even pissed off that they're stealing from me. I'm pissed off that I'm in the middle of doing something and I get a phone call, they're here, and now I have to spend 2 hours following them as they're stealing.
Yeah.
I'm not allowed to say anything. I just have to sit there and make notes about what they've stolen so I can make a police report afterwards. Like, this is stupid. The time things changed is when you weren't allowed to beat somebody with a baseball bat anymore. That's when shoplifting changed. Because how many people went into a corner store and shoplifted from them when they knew that Korean or that person from some other country was going to come at you with a fucking knife or baseball bat?
Yeah.
Now they know you can't do shit. So they're like, ha 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 ha, I'm going to steal whatever the fuck I want.
Yeah.
And it pisses me off. It pisses me off because it just pisses me off. Like, I shouldn't have to give up half my day following these motherfuckers. I said to one of them once, because it's somebody that's stolen from us several times, I'm like, if you put as much time into finding a job as you put into jumping on a bus, bussing out here, walking around stores until you can get whatever you want, getting the fuck out, jumping on a bus again and going back home, and then putting it online to sell it, you would make more money fucking just working.
What was the reply to that one?
I don't steal anything. I go, really? Because your bag was empty when you came in and now it's full. What the fuck's in it?
Yeah. Probably, well, it's not stolen until I walk out the door. Well, it's not stolen yet.
They came in on Christmas Eve. It was a group of 6 of them. They came in on Christmas Eve, and one girl was so drugged out that I ended up calling the ambulance for her, and she thought I called the cops, so she was having a freak out at the front. But she was standing there, and she was in our surplus section looking at stuff, and like her shoulders were forward and her hands had her bags and stuff. And she was so drugged out, she was just staring at the item she wanted to steal, but she couldn't get it in her bag because she was so drugged out she couldn't reach to get it. So she was just like, just looking at it for like 20 minutes. And all of her friends ran away. They took off because they knew somebody was going to call on her because she was fucking so drugged out it wasn't funny. And then she went into the bathroom and she laid down on the floor to try and sleep. One of my salespeople tried to wake her up. She couldn't wake her up. So I went in. I'm like, hey, you okay? Nothing. So I started calling the cops, right? Well, not the cops, but 911 to get her. Because I don't have naproxen or not naproxen, whether noxidine or whatever the fuck it is. I don't have anything there for overdoses, right? But you're obviously overdosing on something. So I call, I'm on the phone with them. I go in, like I left 2 of my people with them because we're not allowed to carry our cell phones on us. So I go in to make the phone call. She's like, are you with them? I go, no, but give me a second. Recall this number. She goes, okay. So she calls it. I'm on my cell phone. I go out to the washroom. And I'm talking to the girl, and she sees them on the phone. Like, she looks up. Now, at this point, she's not lying on the floor anymore. She's lying on the fucking counter. And she looks over at me and sees them on the phone. And she, like, stands up and starts walking away. Like, well, she's walking away now. They go, okay, ask her if she needs medical attention. I'm like, you need medical attention? You need help of any type? No! And then she gets to my cashiers, and she's going out, and she's like, look, I didn't steal it. And she's showing her bags to the cashiers. And I'm like, what the fuck? She's like, well, they think I stole. I go, I don't care if they think they stole. If they think you stole and they said anything to you, they have to talk to me. All I care about at this moment is that you're okay and you're not dying in my washroom. Are you okay? Yes. And then she like storms out, and I go, well, she left. Okay, there's nothing we can do. Okay, sorry for wasting your time, 911. Like,
Yeah.
Hopefully she doesn't die in a washroom since somewhere else, since you don't want to come and deal with her.
Yeah. That's stuff. Native?
I don't know.
Native to Canada?
I don't know.
Okay. Yeah, I know.
That's the biggest problem with this province, right? Is lots of that. Lots of people that have grown up on the land masses that they grew up on, that were never taught anything, were sent out to the world, and were never ready for life outside of that landmass.
Yeah.
And being somebody that has worked several years on Inuit land and Cree land and OG Cree and all that, I get it, and it frustrates me that nothing has been taught.
Is it also a case where they don't want to learn?
There is that for some of them.
Because, like, I know, like, you told me how there's some people that they just want to get better, be better, and there's others that they just don't want to talk to you because you're the enemy.
Yep. Yeah, you get both, right? And you get people when the people are trying to better themselves. You get 2 things that happen, right? Either they better themselves, or they have family or friends that belittle them for trying to better themselves.
Yeah.
To the point where, like, some people get their shit kicked out of them for trying to get better jobs or trying to get an education or anything like that. Like, why would you do this? You're an outsider now. You're nothing to us. You're this, you're that. Like, it's saddening in a way that's hard to explain.
Yeah. Yeah, because no one would understand it until you've interacted, dealt with the situation, seen the situation.
Like, we had that one kid that we were training on how to do everything. And we were like, he is capable of being a manager. We need to get him out of this place because bad things are happening to him. Yeah. And they're like, no, well, we are worried about this, because the DSO didn't want him to go because he was trained on how to do everything. Well, he was getting beat up by his family for his paycheck every pay.
Not cool.
Like, he'd get paid and they would break his arm or they'd break his leg or they'd beat him to a pulp because they wanted the money that he had made.
That's too bad. So sad.
Yeah, none of them worked. He was the only one that worked. And once he got his pay, he wanted to do things for his niece. He wanted to do things for his nephew. He wanted to do this. They cared about their alcohol and their cigarettes. And they would jump him for his money to buy the alcohol and cigarettes. So you're stuck in this catch-22 where there's nothing you can do. And as somebody that's trying to help somebody, you're caught in this catch-22 as well. Because you can't get involved, but at the same time, you're seeing what's happening, and you're like, no, this can't keep happening. Like, this kid's going to die.
Yeah.
And it's one of the reasons we need it out. Like, we need it out because we just couldn't handle it anymore.
Yeah.
Like, the amount of people that we had work for us that aren't alive anymore in 6 years. And most of your employees are younger. The amount of them that are gone is insane.
I can imagine.
Like, when I ran the Quick Stop, my best employee was Gina, and Gina was 19 when she committed suicide. She committed suicide because in that portion of Inuit society, the thing you did was you gave up your firstborn child, and she had a kid, and she had to give it up to her parents. She was like, I want my child back. And they're like, no, this is not the way things... She killed herself because she couldn't get to see her kid because her kid was now her parents' kid. Like...
Yeah.
Like, it's... And you go through this cultural sensitivity course where you're taught about the things that happen and why the things happen. So you try to distance yourself, but at the same time, you can never fully distance yourself. You have to become the coldest human being in the world to distance yourself from everything that's happening.
Yeah.
You've known me for how long? Like, I can be cold, but can I be so cold that I ignore everything?
Yeah.
I can't. I can't do it.
No. Especially if you're building trust with someone that, you like what they do.
Right? People come to you with their problems. People come to you with things they need help with. And then they're gone. And they're gone because of things that they came to you for help with.
Yeah.
And you're like, what am I to do with myself?
Yeah. Yeah. You probably always like, what could I have done different or better to... Yeah.
Like, we have one guy at work who every time he gets in trouble, he comes up with a story. And I've caught him in enough lies that I know their stories. But we were writing him up for one thing, and he started talking about something. And it was me and the assistant that is now a store leader at another place. And it was me and him in there, and when we sent him out of the office, he looked at me and goes, you're very opinionated. I've never seen you go quiet before. What happened? Because he was telling his story, and I just shut up and started writing. And he goes, so what happened? I go, his story was the exact same story I had from one of the kids that worked for me that committed suicide. I go, so it triggered me to a point where I just had to shut up and start writing so I could catch him in his lies. Because he doesn't have the same problems this kid had. But it was the type of thing where he would try and tell stories that would make you feel bad for him. And that's why I would write word for word what he was saying so I could reread it afterwards instead of just letting emotions take over.
Yeah.
Like right here is the proof that he's lying to us. Like, but I couldn't talk. I had to shut down because the story he was giving you was the same story I got from somebody right before they committed suicide. And I couldn't deal with it.
Yeah.
It shut me down. And it shut me down because he was a good kid, and I felt bad about it.
How long does YouTube let us stay on for?
As long as we want to stay on for.
I wasn't sure if they ever had a time limit.
No, you could be on for like 48 hours if you wanted.
Oh, okay. I was just curious because I just saw it's pushing 3 hours.
Really? Wow.
Yeah.
You okay, baby?
Hmm?
You okay?
Might need ice for the ass.
Ice for the ass.
Shitting a lot.
She hasn't shit yet.
Huh.
It might happen right now, though. I heard the toilet seat go down. Let's see if we hear something fun. I love you.
I love you too.
That's the sound of you're getting yourself to work tomorrow.
It did sound kind of like that, didn't it?
And it's probably the sound of you're probably getting yourself home tomorrow too.
It did sound like that, didn't it?
Yeah.
I'm off Friday, so I mean, if she has to be sick Friday as well, at least I'm home to take care of everything.
Yeah.
Biggest problem is I open Saturday, and that means I have to be at work at 6:45.
Well, that gives a couple days to.
Well, I guess it depends on what she has, right? Is it norovirus? Is it COVID? Is it this? Is it that? Because norovirus is very apparent right now too, but norovirus is usually only like 24 to 48 hours, but she was telling me when she gets it, it's usually almost a week. Like, that's awesome. And I mean,
how long of a,
go ahead.
Sorry. No, I say, how long of a drive is it from your house to your work?
10 minutes?
No, it's not bad.
No, there's not much in this city from where we are that you can't get to in 15 minutes at the most.
Nice. Good to know.
Oh yeah, it's a small enough city. It's basically St. Catharines. Like, it's 250,000.
Oh. Well, St. Catharines is only 130, 40.
And this is a capital city, man. Capital city, 250,000. Like,
that's awesome.
And there's neighborhoods that are outside of what you would normally consider city limits. Like, if you want to go to Costco, you're driving like 10 minutes past my work, and you're driving through farmland, but it's still part of Regina.
That's awesome. No one commenting to us? Do we bore them to death?
I think we did. It still says we have 2 viewers, but they must have fallen asleep.
Who knows?
I'm a little hurt that nobody even says bye, they just turn it off.
Just leave.
I mean, I could get if you went to a channel and nobody's interacting with you. Like, say you go to, like, say, the Game Chasers, and they're playing live video games, and you're commenting over and over again, and they don't say anything to you. You just log off. But you log on to a channel that only has like 10 viewers. It's like, hey, let's interact with everybody.
Yeah.
Nobody comments.
Yeah, just type something. Talk.
Like that Harris, that they said hi, and then that was it.
Yeah. It's probably sad there's no Rhino.
He's kept his penis in his pants. What the hell?
Yeah.
Like, and then we interacted with excuse me, with Euler alumni so much, and then they just disappeared into the ether.
Yeah. Was that someone new?
No.
Okay. Yeah, the person down Atlanta area. But
So I haven't watched any Chris Van Vliet yet. I've been waiting for you to tell me any of these things you think I should watch.
oh man, just go to his page. He's got 700 interviews up now. Just find a wrestler you like.
Oh, it says we have 3 viewers now, so still 3 viewers. Nobody commenting.
I just watched an episode of. You ever watch Two Bears, One Cave with
No.
Tom Segura and Bert Kreischer?
No.
They just had an episode they put up with Cody Rhodes as their guest, and that was a good one. I just watched it earlier today.
You know, I was actually discussing with a friend of mine at work if we thought, and I mean, I know that the WWE Hall of Fame is nothing, but if we thought Dustin Rhodes should be in the WWE Hall of Fame,
he
first
will
and
be.
Foremost, what do you think?
100%. He is the start of the Attitude Era. He was the first edgy wrestler doing edgy things.
He was given a career-killing character, and he made it last almost 20 years.
And he didn't even understand the character at first. He had to look it up. If you ever watch his interview.
What a draw.
Yeah. He just said yes because he knew the chance he was getting was amazing, and he was going to figure it out.
I love this. I watched him interviewing with that English guy, not the English guy that works with Steven Richards and Dutch Mantell and all that, but that younger English guy. I watched him doing a video with him in
where
front
they're like
of a
at a
live
bar
crowd.
or something. Yeah.
Sorry? Yeah,
yeah,
and
that's
he was
what I was
talking about Savio Vega and how Savio Vega made his character come to life. And I guess the guy hated Savio Vega, and he stops and he looks at him and he goes, "What's your problem with Savio Vega?" Like, this is amazing. It's no wrestler usually calls somebody out, but to hear the "what the fuck is your problem" bullshit, right? Like,
especially like Dustin says, that one moment in the ring, it made it click.
Yeah, he was like, it was 6 months into the character, and it still wasn't getting over. And Savio had been harassing me to do this forever, and I'm like, okay, let's try it.
Yeah, especially when he said doing it in MSG where there's a highly Puerto Rican crowd. And that was just genius. Being like, you're gonna get your heat.
And the thing is, I listened to his story, and I'm like, I don't remember this. So I went and looked it up online and found the match and watched the match, and it almost happened exactly as he said it. I'm like, wow.
Yeah.
Because the thing with listening to wrestling podcasts is a lot of wrestlers embellish, a lot of wrestlers just flat out lie, and a lot of wrestlers don't remember. So to have a guy that told the story exactly as it happened and how it happened is amazing to me. Like, he even ran away from the ring, like he says, and went backstage, then came back and finished the match. And I'm like, first off, how did that not get a count out? But it wasn't supposed to be a count out, so they didn't do a count out. And I'm like, this is amazing. Like, he told the story perfectly. You okay? Hey? Do you need me to come see you soon? I'm going to be sick anyway. I've been kissing you and rubbing on you and sleeping beside you. So if you're sick, I'm going to be sick. What's that? I don't have a chance. My immune system is not your immune system. So if it got you sick, it's getting me sick.
You know it's bad when it can take it more than one of us.
Well, that's the thing, right? With the job you work, the fact that more than one of you are falling to it is immense. I just hope it doesn't befall me until after people get back. Yeah, Joel's the 6th. I think Jen is the 6th as well. It's Aileen that I'm waiting for.
It just means that your office will be in the bathroom.
Well, and I mean, that's the sad thing, right? I'm the type of person that would do that. I would still show up and try and get through it. But
I'd see this whole table.
If I as bad as she is, I don't think I'd want to go in. The problem is it's getting to the point where can I not go in type of thing. You know what I mean? Like, what are my shifts next week? Like, I don't even know. I haven't looked.
You don't want to look. Anyway, so Dustin's one of my favorite wrestlers.
He did so amazing as who he is.
That I don't know. How many years ago did I go see some wrestling? I took the girls to see some wrestling a couple times. And the one time it was like when they're like, announcing who's going to be on the house show card. And it was like Goldust, Big Show, Bray Wyatt. You know what I mean? Like, I'm like, ooh, gotta go. I want to see Goldust. He's bringing me to the show, you know? Want them to see him. And that was when Bray was still new, so Bray was there. And then the last time I went and saw a WWE house show was in Buffalo. And it was, you're going?
No, we'll stay. I'm going off line, that's all.